You like what you see in that mirror, huh, Sarge?
I do indeed. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the sharpest of them all?
Hey, Sarge, all right if I come in?
There's not much point in asking after you're in, Pyle. What do you want?
I just come by to pick up my pies.
Your pass? You have the nerve to stand there and ask me for a pass after the week you put in? Think, Pyle, think. Was there any day this week you didn't foul up? Well, was there?
Wednesday wasn't too bad.
Wasn't that the day you drove a Jeep into 4 feet of water? And that was your good day.
They got it out.
Pyle, do you know how much it costs to rent one of them hoists? And you have the nerve to ask me for a pass after a week like that?
No, but I sure would like one. They got something special in town. It's a flower show, and I'm just dying to see it.
A flower show?
Uh-huh. They got a particular nasturtium that I sure would like to see.
You're kidding, right, Pyle?
No, Sergeant. I sure would appreciate it if you let me go on pie so I could see that particular nasturtium.
Pyle.
Did you ever see a nasturtium that was proper grown? Oh, it's a sight. You see, Sergeant, nasturtiums is natural climbers, and if you let them, they'll just grow right on.
All right, Pyle, all right. Anybody with a reason that good deserves it. Here. There's your pass.
Thank you, Sergeant. I sure do appreciate it. You look like you're getting ready to go out, too.
Yeah, there's a particular nasturtium I'm just dying to see, too.
Ooh, Tail, are you going to flower show, too? Well, maybe we can
No,
go...
Pyle, I ain't going to a flower show.
Well, even if you're not, fact is, anytime at your convenience, maybe we could get together later on for an ice cream soda or something. Maybe. That is if you'd like.
You're kidding, Pyle. Me have a soda with you? Me and you? Pyle, even if your work was perfect, mind you, you and me would never be going out together, never.
Well, we have before, twice to be exact.
Those were accidents of fate, Pyle, accidents of fate. I would never, in my right mind, plan an evening with you unless it was an accident of fate.
Well, I just thought I'd asked.
You did not think, Pyle, or you wouldn't have asked. A private going out with a sergeant? You must be out of your skull, Pyle. Besides, if I did go out with a private, it would never be with a lame-brained, lunk-headed goofball like you. Now take your pass and get out of here before I change my mind.
Right, Sergeant, and thank you.
How about that?
Pushy, isn't he?
Very pushy.
You want anything else, Private?
No, thank you, ma'am. Hey, you want to smell something pretty?
Nice. Where'd you get them?
At the flower show.
They're beautiful.
Hey, if you're going, I think I ought to warn you about something, though.
Yeah?
The nasturtiums is a big disappointment.
They are?
I mean, they're all right, but don't expect too much.
Oh, I won't. I never do from nasturtiums.
They're going here. They're going.
Hey, what happened?
I seen the whole thing. I seen the whole thing happen. Golly, the way some people drive.
It's a main street, pal, not the San Diego freeway. What are you doing, drag racing?
Look, Buster, nobody asked you to stop on a dime.
I knew they was gonna hit. I just knew it. I sat in here looking out the window just like I am now. Shazam!
What happened? Somebody give you a new set of brakes for Christmas?
I slowed down to make a left-hand turn.
What I look like, a mind reader? Next time, try signaling. Let everybody in on it.
Why don't you wake up? I did signal.
You did not.
I did, too.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
That's my sergeant. That's Sergeant Carter. He's my sergeant. Can I have my check, please, ma'am?
Oh, sure.
I want to go out there and see if I can help.
Okay. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich. Let's see, that's, ain't that something? That's the one price I always forget. Will you wait a second? I'll check the menu.
I was not speeding. Just ask the girl with me.
Why ask her? How bright can she be if she's out with you?
Give me your license. Give me your license. That is, if they ever gave you one.
I'll take yours, too, wise guy.
Hey, Vince!
What are you doing?
I'm hungry. Bacon, lettuce, and tomato sandwich is 65 cents, and an ice cream soda is 30. Now, is that all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. 5 and 0 is 5. Carry the nothing. 6 and 2 is 8. Oh, darn. I do that every time.
Vance! Hey, Vance!
Can't you see I'm doing something?
I'm hungry.
Hungry? Did you see what this guy did to me?
I didn't see nothing. I had my eyes closed. All I could see was a big, juicy steak. Now, when are we gonna eat?
Here, loudmouth. I'll see you in court. Oh, for your sake, you saved your money.
Don't worry, I'll be there. Take my advice. Don't drive to court or you'll never get there.
Now are we gonna eat?
Eat. That's all you think about is eat. What do you mean talking to me?
Hey, what happened to the other feller?
Nothing compared to what's gonna happen to him.
Well, where'd he go?
He's smart. He went to look for a good lawyer.
That's a shame. I was sitting right over there in that window, and I seen the whole thing happen. I even said, hey, they're gonna hit, and then crash.
Hey, wait a minute. You saw it happen?
I was sitting right over there in that window, and I said, hey, they're gonna hit.
You mean you saw the way he hit me right in the back?
Seen the whole thing. I said, hey, they're gonna...
I mean, me just minding my own business, waiting to make a left-hand turn. You saw that?
Seen the whole thing. I said, hey...
Now, what's your name?
Gomer Pyle. See, the fella in the accident with
Gomer, how'd you like to be a witness in court?
Me? A witness in court? Golly.
Well, you're the only eyewitness we have.
An eyewitness? Well, that sure sounds exciting.
You'll be a wonderful witness.
Well, thank you.
Fred Cummins.
I'm pleased to know you, Fred. Like I say, in that other fella...
Now, just let me get your name and address. You'll be hearing from my lawyer in the next day or two. And, Gomer, just make sure you don't discuss any of this before the trial. Yes, sir, you'll be a great witness.
Seen the whole thing.
Okay, go ahead, buddy. See how far you get. Yeah? Well, we'll see about that. That miserable creep, that no good.
What's up, Sarge?
I just got a call. That guy's suing me.
Suing you? What for?
That accident I had. How do you like that guy? He's suing me.
So? You got insurance, haven't you?
Sure. But it's the principle of the thing. Why should my insurance company have to pay for that?
Well, was the accident your fault? I mean, how did it happen?
That creep stopped right in front of me, so I smacked into him.
Well, did he signal he was going to stop?
Huh?
Did he?
I don't remember.
Well, if he didn't signal, then you're okay.
Well, I don't remember it. I don't think he did.
Well, were there any witnesses?
No, those things happen so fast, nobody ever really sees them.
Well, then, what are you worried about? There was no eyewitness. It's just your word against his. The word of a stalwart, upstanding, 20-year Marine who fought for his country against the word of a civilian.
Yeah. Hey, maybe I ought to sue him, huh? Hey, that's one good thing. No witnesses, huh?
Hey, Sergeant.
What do you want, Pyle?
I just come by to tell you something. Guess what? I'm going to have to appear in court.
Court? What have you done now?
Well, it's about that accident you had yesterday. I hadn't seen you, so I hadn't had a chance to tell you. But I seen the whole thing, that accident you had.
Huh? You saw it?
That's right. I was sitting there staring out the window at the coffee shop when all of a sudden, crash! I seen the whole thing.
Yeah?
I come out there as fast as I could, but you'd already gone, so I stood around and talked to Fred for a few minutes.
Fred?
You know, Fred Cummins, the fella whose car got all smashed up. I stayed with him till the tow truck come.
Tow truck? His car wasn't right that bad.
Oh, he wasn't so worried about his car. He was afraid to drive with his back hurting like it was. Well, I'll see you later.
Look, Pyle, it wasn't my fault. You saw the whole thing. It was his fault, right?
Well, maybe I said too much already. I was told not to discuss the case till the trial comes up. Well, I better get back.
So there was a witness, Sarge. Too bad it had to be that one.
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, remember when Pyle was in here yesterday and suggested you go out for a soda together? Remember how you told him off? Remember those things you called him?
I remember. What are you getting at?
Just this. Pyle would be an idiot not to spring at the chance to get back at you. I mean, he wouldn't be human if he didn't take advantage of his setup like this.
Well, anyone else, yeah. But Pyle? We've been together since boot camp.
Sure, Vince.
I'm the only sergeant he's ever had.
Uh-huh.
He's loyal to me.
Uh-huh.
I'm dead, ain't I?
Like I say, it's a golden opportunity for the private. He just won't be the friendliest witness you might have.
That's great. Oh, that's just great. Well, what am I supposed to do now?
Well, it might help if Pyle just wasn't around.
I need you to tell me that?
It's too bad Pyle doesn't have a furlough coming up or something.
I was looking over the furlough list, and I couldn't believe my eyes. I don't know how I missed it. You've been in the Marines for over a year, and you've had only one furlough. You're entitled to another.
Really, Sergeant? Are you sure?
I'm positive, and I'm going to see that you get it immediately. A 2-week furlough.
2 weeks? Shazam! Well, I can't thank you enough, Sergeant.
Oh, well, you don't have to thank me, Pyle. You have it coming.
Well, thank you anyhow. Thanks a million. I'm going to write home right now and tell him I'm coming. What a surprise.
When you came in here, I bet you didn't expect anything like this, huh?
Well, I sure didn't.
Sergeant Carter?
Yeah, that's me.
I got a summons for you, Sergeant.
Huh?
Some accident you had. You're being sued. Now, can you tell me where I can find PFC Gomer Pyle?
I'm Gomer Pyle.
Got one for you, too, Private. I understand you're the only witness. Thank you, gentlemen.
Oh, heck. What a shame, Sergeant. Now I won't be able to go on that furlough. Boy, I sure am glad you two invited me for dinner. There ain't nothing better than good food and good conversation. Just think, here we are socializing together, you and me. I didn't think that's possible after what you said. You know about us getting together only through accident of fate. Is this an accident of fate, Sergeant?
Huh? Oh, no. When I said a sergeant doesn't socialize with a private, it was because of time. Yeah, that's it, time. You see, time is the greatest enemy of mankind. All of us have so much to do and so little time to do it. Why, I'd love to get to know all the men in the platoon, but I just don't have the time. So I have to narrow it down to the 1 or 2 men I like the best.
Golly.
Now, have you had enough to eat? Would you like anything else?
No, thank you, Sergeant. I think I've eaten plenty.
Well, there's plenty more if you want it, ain't there, Bunny?
Of course, there's plenty of food left in the house. 2 cans of tuna and a bottle of ketchup.
I don't think I could eat another bite. I'm just as contented as I can be.
Then why don't you sit down on the sofa and relax while Bunny and me do the dishes?
Gee, can't I help you do the dishes? There seems to be a big load of them.
Sure.
We
if you'd
wouldn't
like.
hear of it. We don't mind doing the dishes, do we, Bun?
Of course not. I like washing dishes.
Well, why don't you just take your coffee over the sofa, Pyle?
Thank you, Sergeant.
I'll be back in a minute.
You're kidding.
Look, Bunny.
It's all a big joke, right?
He'll hear you.
How can he? He's stuffed to his ears with food.
You know why I'm doing this? If he's a hostile witness against me in court tomorrow, I'll be ruined. So all I'm trying to do is to make sure he's not a hostile witness, that's all.
You should have gone out and hired a good lawyer like I told you.
Good lawyers cost money. I don't need a lawyer as long as Pyle ain't a hostile witness. So please, Bunny, be a sport. Be nice to him, just for tonight.
Well, why do I have to be nice to him.
We can do the dishes later. Now, come on, let's keep him entertained. I gotta make sure he ain't hostile.
You know who's hostile? I'm hostile.
Honey, please.
You sure got some swell records here. I mean, good records for dancing.
Pyle's one of the best dancers on the base, Bunny.
How about that?
Oh, he's terrific. Go ahead, dance with him. See for yourself.
Well,
Go ahead. I love to watch good dancers.
well, yeah, it's okay with me, but well, I'm sure Gomer's too tired.
For dancing, I ain't never too tired for dancing. Boy, that was sure fun. That's the first time I ever danced a whole long playing record without stopping. You're a good dancer, Miss Bunny. Did you know that?
You having a good time, Pyle?
Am I? I hadn't had so much fun in a long, long time.
Good, good.
And you know the best part?
What?
Being out with such good friends.
That is the most important thing in life, Pyle, friends.
I believe that, Sergeant. I really do.
No matter where you are or what you're doing, it doesn't mean a thing if you don't have a friend.
So true, so true.
You can be the richest man in the whole world. What good is it if you don't have a friend?
Amen, Sergeant. Amen and double amen.
And when times are good, you should always share them with a friend. Isn't that right, Pyle?
Right, Sergeant. And when times is bad, who else can you depend on except a friend?
You know something, Pyle? You and me think alike.
Yes, we do.
And we're friends, aren't we, Pyle?
You're not only my friend, Sergeant, you're my best friend.
Oh, that's really important to me, Pyle. Because when a man's on trial, he needs a friend. I guess I'm just lucky that the only witness to that accident happens to be my friend.
Right, Sergeant. And ain't it a shame that the court's the only place where a friendship don't count? In court, whether you're a friend or an enemy, you got to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
A whole evening. I spent an entire evening with him. I gave him dinner. I let him dance with my girl. Nothing. He's not gonna be a friendly witness.
You sure, huh?
Well, it's like you said. He wouldn't be human if he didn't take advantage of this. I have been leaning on him for over a year. Now comes a golden opportunity for him. Oh, I can see it coming.
Sarge, will you sign these papers, please?
Do you have to bother me with that stuff now? I go on trial in an hour, remember? What are you bugging me with that for?
I'm sorry, Sarge, but these are the day's duty rosters, and they need your signature.
Yeah. Boyle, this entire roster has to be retyped.
What's wrong with it?
Plenty. There's a name missing. Pyle. Private First Class Gomer Pyle.
What are you talking about, Sarge? He's got to be at your trial. Why, if his name were on that duty roster...
Retype it, Boyle. And this time, do it right.
Cummins versus Carter.
Your Honor, on behalf of my client, I'd like to request the court's indulgence.
Are you telling me that your witness still hasn't shown up?
Your Honor, you've been very patient, but I'm sure we won't have to wait much longer.
We'd better not.
Hey, everybody. Sorry I'm late. Hey, Sergeant, I didn't miss nothing, did I? You know why I'm late? You put my name on the duty roster by mistake. You forgot all about me being an eyewitness. So when I explained it to the officer of the day, he let me go.
Will you approach the bench, please?
Who, me?
Both of you. You were a witness to this accident?
Yes, Your Honor. The eyewitness, the only one.
Sergeant, is it true that you assigned this man to duty knowing that he was due here in this court?
I think it was just a mistake, Your Honor. Sergeant Carter's been real good to me, especially lately.
Especially late?
Uh-huh. A couple of days ago, he tried to get me to go on a 2-week furlough. And just last night, he took me to dinner with his girlfriend. That's her over there. Hey, Bunny. She's a real good dancer.
Counselor, in view of this information, do you still want to call this witness?
Oh, that won't make any difference, Your Honor. I know that a witness has to be 100% fair.
Well, in spite of the irregularity, Your Honor, my client has no objection.
Oh, very well. You can sit down, Sergeant. Bailiff, swear on the witness.
Raise your right hand. You swear to tell the truth, whole truth, nothing but the truth?
I certainly do.
And now will you tell the court your name, please?
Private First Class Gomer Pyle, United States Marine Corps, serial number 420-50227. If I'm going too fast, just let me know.
Now, Private, on the afternoon of October 15th of this year, did you witness an automobile accident?
I sure did.
Now, will you tell us exactly what did you see?
Well, I was sitting in this coffee shop right by the window, and I was staring out just watching the people go by, when all of a sudden I seen these 2 cars coming down the road. All of a sudden, the car in front stopped to make a left-hand turn, and the car in back just kept coming. I could see that they was gonna hit. I even said to myself, they're gonna hit, they're gonna hit.
And the car in back, the one driven by the defendant, Sergeant Carter, crashed into the car in front.
Yes, sir, that's what happened, all right.
Well, Your Honor, there seems no doubt that this is a case of blatant negligence on the part of the defendant, Sergeant Carter.
Well, there's a little more to the story than that. Don't you want to hear it all? Sergeant Carter didn't hardly slow down.
Oh, yes. Do go on, Private.
But that's probably because he didn't have time to. You see, the other driver, Mr. Cummings, he stopped real short and he didn't give a signal. Sergeant Carter's got real good eyesight, and he would have seen that signal all right. I think the trouble was he was paying too much attention to Miss Bunny. Miss Bunny's a real pretty girl, and I can understand why he likes to look at her. But I can't understand why Mr. Cummings would be driving when his brake lights don't work. That causes a lot of accidents, Mr. Cummings. And so does speeding, and I think Sergeant Carter was speeding a little. But I don't understand why Mr. Cummings was making a left-hand turn from a right-hand line. But if Sergeant Carter had been looking, he would have seen what was going to happen.
All right, I've heard enough. Sergeant Carter, Mr. Cummins, come up here. Now, from the testimony of this witness, it is all too apparent that both of you are at fault. And not only that, but as drivers, you are a menace to public safety. Now, if I hear that either one of you commits another infraction, even if it's only overtime parking, I personally will see that you lose your driver's license. Case dismissed.
Hey, Sergeant, I'm sorry I had to say all them things about you, but I swore to tell the truth.
Yeah, Pyle, yeah.
Everything turned out all right, though. I mean, with the case being dismissed and all.
Yeah, sure.
Why don't we celebrate tonight? What you say we go over to your house, Miss Bunny, and dance and dance and dance? I sure do appreciate the lift, Sergeant.
Yeah. Boy, the way they're parked, they ought to have their heads examined. They got me jammed in here like a sardine.
Oh, speaking of sardines, where are we gonna eat?
They sure do have you sandwiched in here all right, Sergeant.
Speaking of sandwiches,
No!
I think you got just enough room to make it, Sergeant.
This past week, Pyle, you've outdone yourself. This past week, you won the booby prize. Congratulations. But it's not going to continue. Do you understand, Pyle? I have had it with you. I've had it up to here with you being late for roll call. I've had it up to here with you not having your shoes shined. I've had it up to here with you forgetting your gas mask during drill.
I held my breath, Sergeant.
I've had it up to here with you not having your pants pressed. I've had it up to here with you being the last one out of the chow hall. Do you see where I am, Pyle?
We still got a little ways to go, thank goodness.
That's right, Pyle. I still have a little ways to go. But one more goof, and I'm up to here. And then, Pyle, you win the grand prize.
The Grand prize?
That's right, Pyle. A transfer to the Aleutians with no return for 3 years. How would you like that, Pyle?
Would you come along too, Sergeant?
No, I would not come to. As a matter of fact, you'd probably be the only one there, Pyle. I would see to it. You get your thermal underwear, your sea rations, and there you are, all alone in the Aleutians.
Alone?
Alone. Just one more goof, Pyle, just one more goof. So I leave you with 2 little words. Watch it. Just watch it. Now, as you were. All right. Now, you people have 10 minutes to get ready for that hike. I don't mean 11 minutes. I don't mean 10 and a half minutes. I mean 10 minutes. Now, start getting your gear together. You hear, Pyle? That means you too. All right. Take hike. Dismissed.
Hey, what's the matter, Gomer? You really got the sergeant going there.
Yeah, man, he really laid it on.
Well, it wasn't no point in going into it.
Going into what?
The fact is, I got some personal problems that's been bothering me. I know that's no excuse, but that's it.
Well, Gomer, what personal problems?
My cousin Goober.
Your cousin Goober?
He's the one that took my place at Wally's filling station back home in Mayberry. He's a real nice fella. He can take a car apart and put it back together right before your eyes.
Well, what about him?
Well, got this letter from him last week. It seems that he and Wally had this falling out, and he was thinking about quitting.
Well, so what's the big deal about that? He'll get another job.
Well, where would he go? Wally's is the only filling station in Mayberry, and I kind of feel responsible for Goober. I talked Wally into letting him take my place, and I've been thinking about it and worrying. Guess that's the reason I hadn't been doing my best work.
Well, listen, we better get outside. Gomer, get your stuff together. Now, come on.
Come on, hurry it up. Let's go.
Come on, Gomer, hurry up.
Let's look alive.
Come on, Gomer, you don't want to be late, pal.
Yeah, you don't want to go to the Aleutians, do you?
You don't think he'd do that, do you? Send me to the Aleutians by myself?
Well, why test him? Now, get going.
I'll be right with you.
Hey, Gomer, look who's here.
For goodness sakes, Goober! For goodness sakes!
Hey, cousin, boys, it's good to see you. Hey, Gomer, let me take a look at you. Why, you pretty as a catbird. I hardly knowed you. You must have grown the inch and you filled out. Woo-wee! What'd he say, cousin? How you making it?
What are you doing here, Goober?
Well, you got my letter, didn't you? Well, I done it. Quit Wally just like I said I would. Dropped my tools and just took off. Felt like taking a trip, so here I am.
Hey, Goober, listen.
Boy, this is a real nice place, ain't it? So this is a Marine Corps. Hey, what's that in there?
All right, you people, move it.
That's my locker. Listen, Goober, civilians ain't allowed back here.
Hey, look at that, green and the blue. These yours, too?
They're all mine, Goober. Listen.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
What brought you all the way out here?
The bus. One of the 2 stored ones. They're cool, and it went fast.
But listen, Goober, you can't stay here.
Hey, Gomer, come on, you're going... Who's that?
This is Goober.
Goober?
Cousin Goober, you remember I was telling you about him.
Gomer, if you don't get to... It's Goober. Goober.
Hey, Gomer, are these some of your buddies?
Uh-huh. It's Frankie and Duke.
Hey, Frankie. Hey, Duke. You sure look sassy in them uniforms.
How did you get on the base, Goober?
I walked in.
Yeah, well, what about the sentry at the gate? Did he try to stop you?
I don't reckon he seen me as talking to another feller at the time.
You shouldn't have done that yet.
Done what?
Gomer, look, you better get him out of here. Having a civilian in the barracks, that could be big trouble. And you can't afford it, you know that.
That's right. Look, Goober, you shouldn't be here. I mean, I'm glad to see you and all, but civilians ain't allowed to visit the base without permission. That's what I've been trying to tell you.
Oh, well, I'm not dismissed, and I might stay.
What?
That's right. I'm going to have me a look around. If I like what I see, I'll stay and be a Marine. Shoot, why not? I'm free as a bird right now.
Gomer, you better get him out of the barracks.
Look, Gomer, take him out the back, and you better get ready for the hike. Now, go ahead. Come on, Gomer, hurry up.
We'll take your gear and meet you out front.
Come on, Goober, we better go outside. But, Goober, you must have got the wrong idea somewhere. You can't just try the Marines.
Well, why not? That's the way I started with Wally. I had a 5-day trial period.
Oh, my gosh, I got to go.
Where?
On the hike.
Hi, can I come too?
No. As a matter of fact, you got to get off of this base. Now, look, the back gate is right over there. You go out and go on into town and get you a room at the Hotel Agnes, and I'll come to see you later.
Sure can't come on the hike. You're not going to have a picnic too, are you?
Please, Goober, you got to do what I say. I got to go. I'll see you in town. Don't forget the Hotel Agnes. It's real nice. They got a TV in the lobby.
Pull it! Pull it! Pull it! Come on, move it! On the double! Hey! Hey! Hold it! Hold it! Left, left,
L. 12 bunks, no empties. $22 bunks, no empties. What's your name?
Pyle, what's yours?
Swanson. Never mind that. What are you doing here all alone in these barracks?
The rest of the fellers went off on a hike. I wanted to go, but they wouldn't take me.
Confined to barracks. That's no surprise. Pyle, how do you explain that uniform?
You mean it don't fit? Well, I can explain that.
I mean the shoes, the shoes.
Oh, these? Well, I wear them because they're comfortable. My others hurt me across the instep.
You're on report, Pyle. Hands in pockets, out of uniform, unmilitary conduct. Pyle, you stay right here. Don't you leave these barracks, you understand? But get out of those shoes.
Yes, sir.
I mean now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hey! Yes, man.
For goodness sakes, you still here, and what are you doing in that uniform?
Hey, Gomer, y'all think I make a good-looking Marine? From the halls of Montezuma to the shores of, what's the name of that other place?
Goober, you got to get out of here.
No, I can't do that. Fella come by here and told me to stay right here, and he sounded real serious, too.
A fella? What fella was that?
Well, he was about this big, sounded important, kind of bossy, had a little shiny thing on each collar.
I don't believe it. I just don't believe it. But there's his name, Private Pyle. Look at his report. Hands in pockets, unmilitary conduct, wearing brown and white shoes. Brown and white shoes? Oh, he's asking for it. He's just asking for it.
So you see, Goober, you can't stay here. It's against the rules, and that's one thing about the Marines. They set a great store by rules.
Well, I don't want to discommode you any, Gomer, but how am I ever going to find out if I want to be a Marine if I can't try it out?
Because, Goober, in the Marines, we always... Hey! Here comes Sergeant Carter. Gomer, get him out of here. Get him out of here right now.
I knew this would happen. I knew it'd happen. Wait outside, Goober, quick.
Pyle! Pyle! Where's Pyle?
Right here, Sergeant.
Pyle, tell me it ain't true.
Hey!
I took them off just like you said.
This is more than a simple case of misconduct. You know what I think, Smith?
The psychiatrist?
Pyle, how would you like to go for a little ride with us?
You mean in there in your Jeep?
That's right.
Well, that sure is nice of you. I always did want to ride one of them. Later on, you wouldn't think about letting me drive it, would you?
Well, maybe. Maybe. Come on, get in.
Do you know I can take one of these apart and put it back together again right before your eyes?
Step on it, Smith.
This time you have backed me to the wall. There's only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to talk to the colonel. You might as well start packing because you are on borrowed time.
Gomer, what's the matter with you? Why didn't you tell him about Goober?
Well, I couldn't do that. Goober could get into awful trouble. More trouble than me, even. After all, he's just a civilian.
Well, let's get him in here, get him in his civvies, and get him off the base.
Come on.
Goober?
Goober? He's gone. Goober? 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 Goober?
Well, somewhere on this base there's a wandering goober. And since his last name is Pyle, you're going to get all the credit for anything he does.
Well, maybe he went back into town.
Well, I hope so, but he didn't say nothing about going into town.
Well, look, wherever he is, it's not good. Don't forget, he's got that uniform on.
Gomer, if I were you, I'd tell Sergeant Carter and just level with him.
I can't, Duke. I just can't. Goober's my own kin. He could get in real big, serious trouble.
But, Gomer, what about you? Lieutenant Swanson tells me you were outside the barracks in your stocking feet.
That's right.
You want to tell me about it?
What for? You already know.
What I mean is, why were you outside in your stocking feet?
Because I didn't have my shoes on.
Tell me, Pyle, how do you feel about being a Marine?
Well, that's a good question. To tell you the truth, I don't know yet. I mean, I might just decide to stay, and then again, I might just take off.
Pyle, do you have any dreams you can remember? Perhaps one that recurs?
Say it again.
I mean, a dream you've had more than once.
Oh, yeah, there's this one dream I've had lots of times. It's just awful.
Good. Tell me about it.
Well, there's this great big gas pump, see? And I'm pumping away, and these bells get louder and louder. Bong, 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 bong. It's enough to drive a person right out of their mind.
Bong, bong.
That's right, you got it.
Oh, that'll be all for now, Pyle. Why don't you just go right out back to the barracks?
You mean that place over there where the lieutenant picked me up?
That's right. Why don't you just go back there and take it easy for the rest of the day?
Well, okay. Would it be all right if I take off my socks? If I walk all the way back like this, it'll wear at the heels of them.
Sure. You take off your socks.
Thanks. It's sure been real nice talking to you. You're a real good listener.
Say, you know what it sounds like to me? It sounds like Pyle is flipped.
No. I wouldn't put it that way, Sergeant. But there does seem to be some evidence of a personality conflict.
Sir?
I'd rather not make a hasty diagnosis, but Pyle does appear to have some signs of a double personality.
How do you like that? I never thought he had any personality at all.
Now, what I'm saying, Sergeant, is that this can get quite bizarre. Now, there's a conflict of interest, a struggle of incompatible desires. On the one hand, a striving toward normal behavior. On the other hand, a deviating toward the bizarre. You understand that, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. Pyle is a bizarre.
What I'm saying, Sergeant, is that Pyle has within him a struggle between the good Marine and the bad Marine. Now, it'll be a day or two before I can get out separation orders. In the meantime, go easy with him.
Yes, sir, of course. Does he know yet?
No, he doesn't.
Well, sir, do you think maybe I should tell him? I mean, we've been together since boot camp.
It's a good idea. I think it'll be the best way of handling it.
Yes, sir, I'll be glad to. How do you like that? Pyle, a bizarre. Well, Pyle, we've been together for quite a while now, haven't we?
1 year, 3 weeks, and 2 days.
And you got a lot to be proud of. You made private first class in a year. That's nothing to sneeze at. Who knows? After a little while, you may be able to come back.
Back? Back from where?
Listen, Pyle, I don't know how to tell you this, but it looks like you're going to be leaving here.
You mean to the Aleutians?
Oh, no, not the Aleutians. I didn't mean that. That was just a threat. I mean, well, the fact is, Pyle, we're going to be sending you home.
Home?
That's right.
But I've been watching it, Sergeant. Honest, I have. I was the first one out of the chow hall this afternoon.
No. It isn't that, Pyle. I mean, it ain't a question of simple little goofs anymore. It's the funny things. I mean, when a Marine begins to wear brown and white shoes with his uniform, Pyle, well, let's face it, It's time to bid adieu.
Huh?
That's goodbye in Italian. Some of us can be Marines and some of us can't. It's as simple as that. So just feel proud of the fact that you were in for a year. Well, goodbye, Pyle.
Well, golly, listen, Sergeant, I got to tell you something. I wasn't going to say nothing, but if it means my leaving the Marines, well, I just can't protect him any longer.
Protect him? Protect who?
Goober.
Goober?
That's right. See, it wasn't me that done all them bad things that you think I done. It was him, Goober.
You mean it wasn't you with your hands in your pockets?
It was Goober.
And it wasn't you with brown and white shoes? It was Goober.
That's right. But you don't have to worry, Sergeant. I got rid of him. I finally convinced him he had to get off the base.
Oh, I see.
So is everything all right now? I mean, I don't have to get out of the Marines? You understand about Goober?
Oh, yes, I understand.
Then everything's okay.
Oh, everything's terrific. Now, you just go back to the barracks and take it easy. Rest.
And you ain't mad at Goober, 'cause he didn't know no better.
Oh, no. I'm not mad at Goober at all.
You see, Sergeant, it fits exactly into what we were talking about earlier today. He makes up this fictitious character in order to help him out of his troubles.
Sir?
Well, it's simple. It's like with a small child. They need the approval of their parents so that when they do something bad, they make up an imaginary character to take the blame. If they break a window, it's the bad Georgie that did it. If they run a hose in Daddy's car, it's the bad Donald. You understand, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. But that's with kids.
Well, don't forget, as his sergeant, you're taking the place of his mother and father. Especially now.
I didn't know it was that bad.
Well, frankly, I didn't either. Now, I'll speed up his orders. Meantime, you try to keep him on an even keel.
You mean it can get worse?
You can never tell. Remember, be nice, be pleasant, and if there are any sudden changes, get in touch with me immediately.
Yes, sir. Goober.
Gomer. Hey, Gomer. Goober, what are you doing here? I thought you was at the hotel. I was going to come see you tomorrow.
Well, I went, but you know what? They wanted us to sleep there. $4.50. Could I stay here tonight?
But I told Sergeant Carter you was in town.
Well, this for tonight. I'll be out of here first thing in the morning. The Marines ain't gonna work for me. Too many people hollering at you.
Goober, you ain't allowed here. It's bad enough during the day, but at night.
I could stretch out under your bunk. How about it, Gomer?
Look, I'll tell you what. I'll just go to Sergeant Carter and tell him the truth. I'll tell him that you're here and you ain't got no place to sleep. Maybe he'll understand. He's a very understanding man. You just wait right here.
Well, ask him how he'd like to spend $4 and a half to sleep someplace one night.
Pyle, what's the matter?
Well, I thought I'd better tell you, Goober's back.
Oh, yes.
And he hadn't got no place to sleep.
Oh?
He said he'd like to sleep under my bunk, but I thought I'd better check with you first.
Yeah? Sleep under your bunk? Well, why don't you do that? You let him sleep under your bunk. That's all right.
Are you sure?
Why not?
I told him what an understanding fellow you were, and you are, Sergeant Carter.
Yeah, well, good night, Pyle. You just go back to bed, huh?
Well, thank you, Sergeant.
Sure, sure. Doctor? Sergeant Carter. Pyle was just in here. He says the other fella's back again. The one that does all the bad things. I think he's really gone. Maybe you better get right over here.
Cooper.
Oh, Dr. Reiner, sir.
Is he inside?
Yes, sir. I think so, sir.
Okay, Sergeant. Everything's going to be all right. Now, what bunk does he sleep in?
Number 6 on the left.
All right.
Do you want me to go in, sir?
No, you wait out here.
Yes, sir.
Pyle. Huh? Pyle.
Who is it?
It's me, Dr. Reiner.
Oh, hey, Doctor. Boy, am I glad to see you. I was dreaming about them gas pumps again. Bong, 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 bong.
Sergeant Carter?
What are you doing out here?
Well, you see, Goober took my bunk. I didn't know where to sleep.
Oh. Oh, well, look, Pyle, since you're going to be leaving...
Leaving? I ain't leaving.
I know. But when you do leave, I just wanted to tell you that it's been nice knowing you and that... Put it there, Pyle. Say. Hey, Doc, I got him. Out of here.
What is it, Sergeant?
I got him. I got Pyle.
What do you mean you've got Pyle? I've got Pyle.
Huh?
Hey, Gomer, you can have your bunk back now. This feller says he's got a nice bed for me.
Who's that?
Well, that's Goober, the feller I've been telling you about. He's my cousin.
Hey, Sergeant.
Then who's that?
Private First Class Gomer Pyle, sir.
You mean there is a Goober? A real Goober?
Well, sure, Sergeant. I told you about him twice.
There is a Goober? There is a Goober? How do you like that? There is a Goober! There is a Goober! There is a Goober!
Listen, Sergeant Carter. Listen,
How do you like that?
Sergeant
There is
Carter,
a Goober!
I think you better come with me. I'll find you a place to sleep
But
tonight,
there is
too.
a Goober!
Yes,
there is a Goober!
You're right.
There is a Goober!
So all in all, things is pretty good. I don't regret making the trip to see you because sometimes it takes some scouting around to find that happiness is in your own backyard or filling station, as the case may be. Ha ha. Say hey to all the boys and especially to Sergeant Carter. Yours very truly, Cousin Goober. P.S. Hope you like the present I sent you. They had a sale over at Weaver's. I wonder what it is. Oh, ain't that sweet? That Goober.
How do you know they'll fit, Gomer?
Let's see.
Told him 2 o'clock sharp.
It's just a couple of minutes after, Sarge. He'll be here.
You called the hotel, didn't you? They got a place for her all right?
It's all taken care of. She's on the 2nd floor with cross ventilation.
Yeah. Well, I want everything to be all right. After all, she's the only sister I got.
You're really looking forward, huh?
Wait till you see her, boy.
Really something, huh?
She's the greatest. Absolutely the greatest. She's got everything. Looks, brains, personality. She's a lot like me. And she thinks the world of me, too. Well, you know, since my old man passed away, I've been more of a father to that kid than a brother. She never makes a move without turning to me first. I used to pick out her clothes for her, the subjects she took in school. I even figured out her career.
Oh, what does she do?
She's a beauty operator, got the number 2 chair right next to the owner.
There's Pyle now.
It's about time. Pyle, you're late. Can't I trust you to do anything right? Like be on time, especially today. What's the matter with you?
I know, Sergeant, I'm sorry as I can be, but there was such a long line at the PX.
The PX? What did you go there for?
Pick up this candy for your sister. See, it's real nice when you come off of a long bus ride to have somebody meet you with something sweet.
Yeah, but it's better not to keep somebody waiting.
But she'll understand when you explain why. Sweets to the sweet.
I'll be back around 5, boy.
Right, Sarge.
And I bet she is sweet, too, on account of she's the sister of...
Move, Pyle, move! You see, we're late. The bus is already here. There she is. Babe! Hey, babe!
Oh, she's a handsome-looking girl and sweet, just like I said.
Oh, it's so good to see you.
Oh, boy, what a sight for sore eyes. Here, let me look at you. You're looking great. You never look better.
Boy, I second that. Of course, I never have seen you before, but if Sergeant Carter says you never have looked better, then I'll take his word for it.
This is Private Gomer Pyle. This is my sister.
How do you do, Gomer?
Hey, Miss Carter.
Well, come on, babe.
I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to meet the sister of my favorite person.
Oh, well, thank you, Gomer.
It's a real honor.
Well, come on, let's
I
all...
brought you some candy as kind of a welcome gift.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you. Thank you.
They're half soft centers and half caramels and nuts.
Oh, thank you, Gomer.
The light chocolate's the soft centers, and the dark is the caramel and nuts. There's some jellies in there, too.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
Sweets to the sweet.
I'll get her bags, will you?
Right, Sergeant. I think there's some nuggets and some marzipan in there. Do you like marzipan? I think that's...
Come on.
Oh, Miss Carter, which is your bag?
Oh, there's a blue plaid and a tan one. They've got my name on them, Gomer.
Hey, babe, you look great, just great.
Oh, you're kidding. I've got to go on a diet.
Don't you do it. You look wonderful. How long are you going to be able to stay?
Just a few days. Actually, I came down to tell you about a big surprise.
Yeah? What is it?
Oh, I don't want to tell you here.
Oh, come on, tell me. You didn't get the first year, did you? Old man Stookie didn't retire.
Nothing like that. This is a really big surprise.
Well, I got him.
Oh, thank you, Gomer.
Get yourself in the bags in the back pile. I'll drive. Now, what's all this about a big surprise? Pyle!
Sorry, I'll pick them up.
Of all the nitwits, Pyle, you knucklehead, can't you do anything right? Pick it up, pick it up.
Well, I'm terribly sorry. I guess I'm just nervous about meeting the sister of my favorite person.
Pick him up, pick him up. Boy, he's murder, just murder. Come on, move. Huh? You like it? Cross ventilation and everything. And the bedroom looks out on the street.
Oh, Vince, you've certainly gone to a lot of trouble.
Oh, nothing's too good for you, sis. You know you were always number one with me. Now, come on, what's the big surprise, huh?
Okay, you ready?
Tell me.
Vince, I'm gonna get married.
Married? To who?
Harold Knobley.
Harold Knobley? Harold Knobley?
What's the matter?
Little Harold Knobley that's in the surgical supply business?
He's a wonderful person.
Oh, no, babe. No, not Harold.
Why? What's wrong with him?
What's wrong with him? Everything. He's got no class, no personality, no charm. You put him in a room full of people, nobody'd even know he was there. Harold Knobley?
You don't even know him.
I know him. What do you mean I don't know him? He once tried to sell me a pair of arch supports. I know him. He's a creep.
How can you say that?
I know him. I know Harold Knobley, that civilian.
Well, what's wrong with his being a civilian? Don't tell me I have to marry a Marine.
Would that be so terrible? Your brother's a Marine, ain't he? If you married one, we could kind of keep in the family.
Vince, Harold and I love each other.
Look, babe, maybe you're in love with the idea of getting married. I want you to get married. But what's the rush? Take a while. Think it over. Mr. Right will come along. Believe me, sis.
Some nice Marine.
Could be. Who knows?
Here's your bags, Miss Carter. Where do you want them?
Oh, just put them in the bedroom, Gomer. You can throw them on the bed.
Any place you say, and I'd be happy. You just name it, and I'll do it. My. Sergeant Carter's sister. My.
Out, Pyle, out. Go. Listen, babe, listen to me. What's the rush? Take your time. Harold Knobley ain't the only man in the world. Give yourself a chance to meet somebody else.
But, Vince...
Uh-oh.
I've known Harold since we were kids.
Well, that's the trouble. You've stuck to this one guy, and you haven't given yourself a chance to look around. How would you feel if you got married and then you met a guy? The right guy, but too late.
Sorry.
Well, I have looked around, and I know my own mind. I'm not a child, Vince.
Okay, babe. I'm only your brother. I can't stop you. But I'm telling you, I don't approve, babe. But if you want to break my heart, well, you go right ahead. But I don't approve, babe.
I got your bags put away, and I opened the blinds, and I cleaned up all the broken glass.
What broken glass?
Well, I busted a bottle of some kind of stuff for the hands, or maybe it's mouthwash. I'm sure sorry. I'll get you another.
Oh, that's all right, Gomer.
But I sure hope you enjoy your visit, Miss Carter.
Thank you, Gomer.
And I just want to say, welcome.
Come on, Pyle, let's go.
Right, Sergeant. And Miss Carter, if there's anything I can do to help your stay, you just call on me.
Thank you, Gomer. Oh, and thank you for the candy.
Well, there's some peanut clusters in there, too. Do you like peanut clusters?
Get out of here, will you? Well, I'll see you later, babe. In the meantime, think it over. Not Harold Knobley, please, not him.
I thought he'd be happy when he heard the news. I thought it'd make him happy.
Well, so what? Can't we get married anyway?
Well, he is my brother, and I don't want to hurt him. I can't do that to him.
Does this mean we're finished?
No, it just means I've got to get him to change his mind about you.
How are you gonna do that? He hates me. I know what he thinks of me. He thinks I'm a dope, a dumbbell. Isn't that right?
You know what? It would serve him right if I married someone he really thinks is a dumbbell.
Oh, look, babe.
Listen, Harold, I think I've got an idea. An idea to get my brother to change his mind about you.
How are you gonna do that?
Well, no, just leave it to me, Harold.
All right. Babe, I sure miss you.
I miss you too, Harold.
It's sure hard for me to keep my mind on wheelchairs and rubber stockings when you're away.
Be patient, honey. Listen, I've got a plan, and I'm pretty sure it's going to work.
Phone call for me, Corporal?
That's who they called for.
Private First Class Gomer Pyle speaking.
Gomer, this is Babe.
Who?
Babe Carter, Sergeant Carter's sister.
Oh, yes, sir. I mean, ma'am.
Gomer, my brother isn't there, is he?
No, but I can go get him for you. Do you want to talk to him?
No, Gomer. Listen, I thought I'd take you up on your offer and have you show me around town a little bit.
Oh, I'd be most pleased to, ma'am. When did you want me to do that?
Oh, about 7 o'clock tonight. And Gomer, don't tell my brother about this, will you?
Don't tell him?
Well, he's so busy, and I don't want him to feel guilty that he's not spending enough time with me. I just don't want to bother him too much.
Oh, I got you.
So we'll just keep it a secret?
Oh, sure, you bet. I won't tell him.
Oh, good. Because the last time I came down, he neglected his job, and I just don't want him to do that, Gomer.
Yes, ma'am, I understand. He's real sweet that way. He just came in.
What, Gomer? I can't hear you.
I can't talk. He just came in. So long, buddy. I'll do what you said.
Bye, Gomer.
Hey, Sergeant Carter. How are you today?
That phone is for official use, Pyle. You understand?
Right, Sergeant. The fact is, I didn't make a call. Somebody called me, a friend of mine.
I didn't ask you.
That's really all I can tell you. It was a friend of mine.
Pyle, who cares? Get out of here. Dombrowski. Where's Dombrowski?
Well, I think he's over at the PX, Sergeant.
Is that you, Pyle?
You mean this smelly stuff? Yeah, that's me, all right. It's called Man and Horse. It ain't sweetie smelling like a lot of them. The lady at the PX says it has a real masculine aroma. Man and Horse.
You got a big date tonight, Pyle? Come on, Pyle, tell me, who is she?
Don't ask, Sergeant. Please don't ask.
You're bashful, huh? Ah, look at that. He's bashful. Come on, Pyle. What is she? A truck driver, a mechanic at the gas station?
You shouldn't say things like that, Sergeant.
Well, come on, Pyle. You can tell me. What does she look like? Is she pretty?
Well, yeah, she's very pretty.
Yeah, I'll bet. Like a mud fence. I bet she's a real dog, huh? Come on, Pyle. Level with me. She's a dog, huh?
Sergeant Carter, I don't think that's very respectful to a lady, especially about well, she's a fine, considerate person, and a lady, a real fine lady.
A bow wow.
Please don't say that, Sergeant.
Okay, Pyle. I was just kidding. Have a good time.
Well, thank you. How wonderful it's been being out with my favorite person's sister. Thank you, Miss Carter, for letting me show you around.
No, Gomer, I'm the one that should thank you. Thank you for the lovely evening.
You're sure welcome. Did you enjoy the Godzilla movie?
Oh, it was very interesting. Gomer, are you going to be busy tomorrow night?
No, ma'am. Why?
Well, I really had such a nice time tonight, and, well, I really hate to impose on you like this.
Shoot, ma'am, would you like me to show you around again tomorrow night?
Are you sure I wouldn't be taking you away from your work?
Oh, no, I'm not busy like Sergeant Carter. He's got all kind of responsibilities that I don't have.
Oh, good, Gomer. Oh, I do appreciate it. Same time, then?
That'll be fine. I'll be here. Bye, ma'am.
Bye.
Hey, babe.
Well, Vince, have you been waiting here for me?
Waiting? I've been here for hours. Where have you been? Your first night in town, I can't find you. What's going on?
Oh, Vince, my darling brother, Vince.
Huh?
Oh, Vince, you won't believe this. I know you won't believe this, but I've just been on a date.
You had a date with who?
Oh, Vince, it was so fantastic. You said Mr. Wright would come along, and, oh, I don't want to say too much about it.
Listen, calm down. Tell me what you're talking about. You met some guy. What's his name? Who is he?
Oh, I don't want to say too much. It's too good to be true. I mean, it all just happened so fast out of the clear blue sky.
Babe.
Oh, he's all the things I ever dreamed of. He's tall and slender and thoughtful and kind and sweet. And guess what, Vince?
What?
He's a Marine, Vince. He's a Marine.
Well,
doesn't that make you happy, Vince? He's a Marine.
Okay, he's a Marine, but...
I thought Harold was the only one. I could have made a terrible mistake if it hadn't been for you, Vince. You did it. You opened my eyes. You said, think, take your time. And I did.
But listen,
And he's a Marine, Vince. Oh, I'm so grateful.
My sister. I don't understand it. I just don't understand it. She came here to tell me that she wanted to marry one guy. She's been here less than 24 hours, and she tells me she's in love with somebody else.
Well, who is this guy? What do you know about him?
Nothing. She wouldn't tell me a thing. All I know is he was tall, thin, sweet, and a Marine.
Oh, I'm sure there's nothing to get upset about, Sarge.
Upset? I'm going out of my skull. I don't like it, Boyle. I don't like it at all. After all, she's my kid sister.
Nah, it's probably just an infatuation.
What's that?
Well, you know, a quickie romance. In love today, out of love tomorrow.
That's an infatuation?
Yeah.
Well, I don't like it. I don't like my sister having an infatuation with no stranger.
There's an easy way to find out who he is. Why don't you go down and stake out the hotel?
What are you telling me? Spy on my own sister? Is that what you're suggesting, that I spy on my own sister?
Walking it off, huh? You're in for a stroll, fella.
Babe.
Vince! Oh, I'm so glad you stopped by. I was going to call you, but I was afraid it was too late.
Listen, I'll tell you why I'm here. Huh? You were going to call me? What did you want to call me about?
Well, you know, last night I told you I wasn't sure about this fellow I met.
Yeah?
Well, I had another date with him tonight.
Yeah?
And, Vince, I think I'm sure.
No.
And it's all because you wouldn't let me throw myself away on Harold. Oh, Vince, you're so wise. You're so wise.
Listen,
Doesn't that make you happy, Vince? Oh, I know you're going to adore him. For one thing, he's a Marine, Vince. Did I tell you that? He's so kind, so gentle, and so sweet.
He's Gomer Pyle, right? Gomer Pyle? That's the Marine Gomer Pyle?
Yeah, how did you know?
Oh, babe, I don't know how this happened, but you can't do this. You can't do this to me.
Don't tell me you don't approve of him. I should think you'd be thrilled. He's a Marine in your own outfit. Golly, Vince, I'm keeping it in the family just the way you wanted.
The family?
Now, Vince, I want you to go home because I I can't talk about it anymore. I'm just too happy. I'll talk to you tomorrow, okay, Vince? You go home and get a good night's sleep. Night.
Babe, I was hoping you'd call. Well, what's happening?
Oh, Harold, I think Brother Vince is about to give his approval. No, I mean it. Now, listen, Harold, if Vince calls, we haven't been in touch.
But he's not going to call me, babe.
He will. Just remember, when he calls, you haven't heard a thing from me.
I don't understand, Sergeant. Did Private Pyle request this transfer to Japan?
No, sir. But we do need men there, and I thought he'd be a fine possibility.
Yes. Does he speak Japanese?
No, sir, but he could learn.
I'm afraid I'll have to deny the request, Sergeant.
How about the Aleutians? We need men there, sir. The Philippines? Okinawa? Seattle?
No, Sergeant. Let's just leave things as they are.
Yes, sir. What galls me is it's all my fault. She wanted to marry Harold Knobley, but I said no. I'm the one that drove her right straight to Pyle.
Well, what about Harold? Was he so bad?
Huh?
What's the matter with Harold? Why did you split him up? What's wrong with the guy?
Nothing. Nothing's the matter with Harold. Nothing in the world's the matter with Harold. Hey, give me long distance.
Hello?
Hello, Hal, you old son of a gun. How you doing, fella? How's every little thing in surgical supplies?
Who's this?
This is Vince Carter. Your old buddy, Vinny.
Vinny?
Yeah. Babe told me the wonderful news about you two, and I just wanted to tell you I think it's great. Hey, just think, you and me brothers. Listen, Harold, when's the big day? You and Babe set the date yet?
Well, no, Vince.
Why not?
I haven't heard from her since she's been up there.
Well, you know how girls on a vacation are. She's probably been thinking about you a lot, though. Listen, Harold, I don't want to scare you or anything, but this town ain't the greatest place to have your fiancé wandering around. I mean, there are a lot of good-looking Marines around here, and, look, Harold, why don't you come down here and surprise her? I know she'd love to see you. Well, if I were you, I'd catch the next bus out. I wouldn't waste any time.
Are you about ready, Miss Carter?
Oh, I just have to fix my hair, Gomer.
You know, Miss Carter, it seems funny, but we hadn't been seeing much of your brother. I know he's busy and all.
Oh, I think I'll probably be seeing more of him now that the weekend is here, Gomer. As a matter of fact, I think we'll be getting together today.
Well, that's good, because I feel real peculiar him not being around very much to see his own sister.
Oh, will you get that, Gomer? My hair.
Glad to, ma'am.
See, there's a Marine here right now. What did I tell you, Harold?
I thought the courthouse.
Out of the way, Pyle. Babe, where are you, babe?
Vince, what's the matter?
Hey, babe, look who's here. Look who's here. Just walked into my office, just like that. What a surprise. You could have knocked me over with a feather.
Hello, babe.
Hello, Harold.
Hello, Harold. Hello, Harold. Is that all you can say? A man travels 87 miles and hello, Harold?
How was your trip, Harold?
You shut up, Pyle. Maybe Harold came down here to elope, huh? Is that what you had in mind? Unless, of course, you were planning a big wedding. But why fool around with a big wedding? Why not make it short and sweet and save that money for a dinette set?
Vince, what are you talking about?
Well, tell her. Speak up, man. That was always your problem. You was shy. Tell her what you got in mind.
Well, if there was a choice, I'd take a wedding. Furniture's all right, but the memory of a wedding will last you your whole life.
Babe, I don't know what's happened between you two, but you loved each other once. I'm sure you can get back together. Babe, you can't let your head be turned by a passing fancy, a fatuation.
Boy, Sergeant, you sure got away with words.
Look, you two, why don't you talk to each other? Babe, look at him. I never knew Harold before, but on the way over here, I talked to him, and he's a great guy,
You know, Sergeant Carter, me and Harold ain't even been introduced yet.
You two probably want to be alone, huh? Well, I guess we'll be going and let you two kids be alone for a while. I'm sure you got a lot to talk about. Come on, Pyle.
Right, Sergeant. I think you'll enjoy a wedding a whole lot more than a dinette, say it.
Come on!
Oh, Harold!
So, Pyle, you were seeing my sister without telling me.
I'm sorry about that, Sergeant, but she and I agreed
Pyle,
that...
do you think for 1 minute that
followed by his 3 daughters, the princesses of Silos. "Greetings, O exalted ruler," Max said, bowing so low he almost fell over. "I travel with my most valuable possessions," the vizier said, gesturing to his daughters. One of Mac's crewmen, Sparky, let out a low whistle. "Wowie, wow, wow. Those are some high-spec princesses. Like a space chicken," the vizier roared. "The next man who dares to debase the dignity of my daughters will answer to my plasma saber." Mac quickly pulled Sparky away. "He didn't mean it, Highness. In our sector, wowie wow is a ceremonial greeting, very respectful." The vizier looked skeptical, but proceeded to the guest quarters. Back in the medbay, Blight was watching the chaos on a hidden monitor. "The vizier is here too? This is perfect. Between the Chancellor and the vizier, Mac will be court-martialed by sundown." Blight's joy was interrupted by a knock. It was Lieutenant Nurse Wilson, the only person on the station who could make Blight nervous. She was wearing a swimsuit. "Captain Blight, you've been working too hard. I'm here to take you for a therapeutic swim in the hydro tank." "Wilson, get out. I'm sick. I'm dying," Blight screamed. "Nonsense," she said, grabbing his arm. "The hydro tank is ready." Suddenly, the door burst open. Chancellor Ironclad entered, looking like he ate neutron stars for breakfast. Blight panicked. "Quick, hide her in the closet." Pringle shoved the nurse into the supply locker just as the Chancellor stepped to the bed. "Binghamton, I heard you were ill," Ironclad growled. "Oh, yes, Chancellor," Blight moaned. "I'm at death's door. But you must go to the hangar. Mac has hula droids in the blast shelter. It's a disgrace." "Hula droids?" Ironclad turned to Mac. "Is this true?" "He's delirious, sir," Mac said smoothly. "The pressure of command has given him hallucinations. He thinks there are girls in the lockers too." Mac walked over and opened the supply locker. Nurse Wilson tumbled out in her swimsuit. The Chancellor's eyes nearly popped out. "Binghamton, an explanation. Now, it's a tactical camouflage suit, sir," Blight stammered. Chapter 4. The Ghost of the Rusty Comet. The Chancellor was unimpressed. He ordered a full fitness board review for Percy Pringle, whom he deemed unfit for a paper-shredding unit, let alone a Navy commission. Mac knew he had to save Pringle. "Listen, boys," Mac told the crew in the shadows of the lower decks. "Blight is allergic to goldenrod. It's a rare space plant. And we've got a tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas left over from the dental bay. If we can get Blight laughing like a maniac when the board arrives, they'll think he's the one who's crazy." The plan went into motion. Grover and Sparky pumped the gas through the vents of Blight's office. When the fitness board arrived, Blight was rolling on the floor, pointing at the Chancellor's hat and screaming, "It's a giant potato peel. The Chancellor is a potato." "Binghamton, have you lost your mind?" Ironclad barked. "Oh, Chucky Wucky." Blight giggled, pinching the Chancellor's cheek. "You're so cute when you're angry." Just then, a klaxon blared. An actual enemy fighter squadron was approaching the station. Percy Pringle, still high on a stray whiff of laughing gas, staggered to the main defense turret. "I'll get them. I'll get the space flies." Without aiming, Pringle slammed the fire button. A single, wild plasma bolt shot out, bounced off a passing comet, and struck the enemy flagship's fuel intake. The ship exploded in a spectacular display of cosmic fireworks. The Chancellor was stunned. Magnificent. The lad stands laughing in the face of death and takes out a flagship with one shot. "Pringle, you're a hero. Binghamton, you're a disgrace. Get back to the medbay." Chapter 5. Ziggy and the 60,000 credit payroll, Peace, or the Sector 7 version of it, returned to the station until the payroll shipment arrived. 62,000 credits in cold, hard, unmarked currency. Commander Blight saw one last chance to trap Mac. I'll leave the payroll in a marked wallet on the deck of the scavenging ship. When they find it and don't report it, I'll have them for grand larceny. But Blight didn't account for Ziggy. Ziggy was the crew's mascot, a 3-foot-long, cybernetically enhanced alligator they had rescued from a swamp planet. Ziggy had a taste for luxury leather and Percy Pringle's peanut butter sandwiches. While Blight was sneaking around the ship, Ziggy crawled out from the vents. With a snap of his jaws, Ziggy swallowed Blight's wallet, credits, ID card, and all. Blight screamed as he saw his ID card disappearing into the alligator's gullet. He ate me. The monster ate the commander. Mac and the crew ran over. Ziggy, what did you do? Blight was hysterical. You're all under arrest. That lizard stole $900 of my personal money and the entire station payroll. An alligator stole the payroll? Mac asked, trying not to laugh. Sir, that's a very creative excuse for losing the money yourself. I have witnesses, Blight yelled. Where is that lizard? I'll have him turned into boots. The crew hid Ziggy in the ventilation shafts. A court-martial was convened immediately. Percy Pringle acted as the defense attorney. Your Honor, Pringle addressed the judge. I demand a mistrial. The alligator in question has had a very unhappy childhood and was simply looking for a snack. Besides, Captain Blight called him stupid. That's defamation of character. Order in the court. The judge banged his gavel. Produce the alligator or the credits, or Captain Sterling goes to the spice mines. Chapter 6. The Great Plasma Cannon Recovery. Mac knew Ziggy was hiding in the station's ancient, decommissioned ceremonial cannon. If we can't get the wallet out of Ziggy, we'll never clear our names, Mac whispered. Just then, an enemy scout ship appeared on the long-range sensors. Blight, desperate to show he was still in control, ran to the deck. Fire the ceremonial cannon. Show them our strength. Sir, no. The cannon is jammed, Mac shouted. I don't care. Fire, Blight screamed, lighting the manual plasma fuse himself. The cannon groaned. It hissed. There was a sound of a very confused alligator. Boom. Instead of a plasma shell, a green blur shot out of the cannon. Ziggy flew across the hangar, hit a bulkhead, and coughed. A shower of credits exploded into the air. Hundreds of bills drifted down like snow. My money, Blight cried, scrambling to catch the falling credits. 42,365, 42,366. And here's your wallet, sir, Mac said, picking it up from the floor. Returned by the witness for the defense. Ziggy let out a satisfied belch and crawled back toward Pringle's sandwich stash. The Chancellor, who had watched the entire thing, sighed. Binghamton, you used the base payroll to bait a trap for your own officers. Using a cybergator? It was a strategic sting operation, sir, Blight pleaded. It was a circus, Ironclad said. Mac, take your crew and get out of here. Pringle, go buy that alligator a steak. Binghamton, back to bed. I think your Martian mumps are coming back. As the Chancellor's ship departed, Mac leaned against the railing of the rusty Comet, watching the stars. You know, Skip, Pringle said, sharing a peanut butter sandwich with Ziggy. Mac grinned, adjusted his captain's hat, and looked at the credits he'd managed to pocket during the confusion. It's a living, Puddles. It's a living. The End. The Chaos Chronicles. Oceanus Prime. A comedy of interstellar errors. Chapter 1. The indigestion of Iron Grinder Grimshaw. The planet Oceanus Prime was 99% sapphire-colored water and 1% sheer, unadulterated administrative incompetence. At the center of this watery paradise sat the Sapphire Outpost, a floating fortress designed to protect the sector from the nefarious Nebula Raiders. However, on this particular Tuesday, the biggest threat to the outpost wasn't a raider fleet. It was Captain Archibald, the Iron Grinder, Grimshaw's stomach lining. Grimshaw paced his office, his boots clicking rhythmically on the transparent floor that revealed bioluminescent jellyfish pulsing below. He was a man composed entirely of sharp angles, starched uniforms, and a blood pressure level that could power a small starship. Higgins. Grimshaw screamed, his voice hitting a frequency that made the nearby holographic display flicker. Lieutenant Pip Higgins, a man whose primary evolutionary trait was the ability to appear busy while doing absolutely nothing, scuttled into the room. "Sir. Yes, sir. I don't care what you were doing," Grimshaw barked. "I need gravity belts." The orbital nursing corps just sent a priority requisition. Apparently, the artificial gravity in the East Wing is malfunctioning, and the hosiery is sagging. This is a war, Higgins, a war against gravity. And I am the supply officer of this miserable rock. Higgins wiped a bead of sweat from his brow. "Sir, I've got a message from the sector command. Grand Marshal Steeljaws' Stone is arriving today for a surprise inspection." Grimshaw stopped mid-stride. His face transitioned through several shades of purple before settling on a ghostly pale. "Stone? The man who court-martialed a cadet for having a dusty shoelace? Coming here? Today?" He looked around his office. The sinks in the officers' lounge were currently spewing green sludge due to a plumbing mishap, and the sector's most decorated and most delinquent squadron, the Seawolves, were likely currently hosting an illegal crab racing tournament in the hangar. "I'm sick," Grimshaw whispered, clutching his midsection. "My stomach acid could melt through a hull plate." "Higgins, those pills. Give me those blue ones." "Sir, those are for interstellar seasickness," Higgins warned. "They cause hallucinations of giant singing squids." "I don't care," Grimshaw yelled, popping 3. "Wait. A brilliant thought has just illuminated the dark cavern of my despair. If I am incapacitated, I can appoint an acting commander, someone who will take the fall when Stone sees this disaster." He smiled, a terrifying sight. "I won't appoint you, Higgins. You're too obvious. I'll appoint him, the bane of my existence, Commander Mac Maverick." Chapter 2. The Fox Takes the Hen House. Commander Mac Maverick was currently reclining in a hammock made of recycled parachute silk, sipping a neon blue concoction that definitely wasn't approved by Navy regulations. Around him, the Seawolves were busy doing everything except their jobs. "Commander," Higgins shouted as he approached the dock, "the captain is unwell, stricken by a mysterious and convenient illness. You are hereby appointed acting base commander of the Sapphire Outpost." Mac shifted his sunglasses. "Acting commander? Does that come with a pay raise and the keys to the captain's private wine locker?" "Mac, it comes with Grand Marshal Stone," Higgins hissed. Mac sat up. "Ah, the Steeljaws himself. You're my new executive officer." Baxter, who was currently trying to fix a plasma torch and had somehow managed to weld his own sleeve to a bulkhead, looked up in shock. "Me, sir? Exec? Oh boy, you won't regret this, sir." The transition of power was swift. Grimshaw was moved to the infirmary, where he spent his time yelling at the walls, while Mac and Baxter took over the command center. Within 20 minutes, the chaos protocol was in full effect. "Chief," Mac said, leaning back in Grimshaw's high-backed chair, "what's the status of the Petty Officers Club?" "The sinks are still backed up with neon sludge, sir," the chief replied. "Excellent. Turn it into a bioluminescent art exhibit for the inspection. And those gravity belts Higgins was whining about? Tell the nurses we've converted them into slingshots for the base's new Intergalactic Defense Sport League. Right away, sir." The comms link buzzed. Mac blinked. "The Sultan? What's he doing here?" "Engine trouble, sir. He's coming in with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the nebula." Mac grinned. "A sultan and 3 princesses. Baxter, get the honor guard ready. And by honor guard, I mean the guys who aren't currently covered in engine grease." Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Slingshots. The Sultan of the Zodiac Sands was a man who smelled of expensive spices and carried a staff that could probably vaporize a moon. His daughters were dressed in silks that shimmered like the aurora borealis. "Commander Maverick," the Sultan rumbled, looking at the Seawolves who were standing at a vaguely vertical angle. "Your men. They are very relaxed, It's a psychological warfare tactic, Your Highness, Mac explained smoothly. We project an aura of nonchalance to lure the Nebula Raiders into a false sense of security. Wowie, whoa, whoa, Baxter whispered, staring at the princesses. The Sultan's eyes narrowed. What did that young man just say? That is a sacred greeting in our sector, Highness, Mac lied instantly. It translates to, May your stars always align with prosperity. I see, the Sultan said, somewhat pacified. I wish to see your fleet. I am told your vessel 73 is the fastest on the planet. As they boarded the sleek hydrofoil vessel, Baxter tried to be helpful by steering. This resulted in the ship performing a 360-degree spin that nearly sent the Sultan's crown into the ocean. It's an aggressive, evasive maneuver, Baxter shouted, white-knuckled. Meanwhile, back at the infirmary, Grimshaw was recovering faster than expected. Through his window, he saw a group of hula dancers, actually the sea wolves in grass skirts, performing a welcoming ritual for the Sultan that looked suspiciously like a frat party. Higgins! Grimshaw roared. Look at that. It's a Roman orgy. Mac has turned my base into a circus. When Grand Marshal Stone gets here, Maverick's career will go up in ion smoke. Grimshaw donned a seaman's uniform as a disguise, intending to sneak out and gather evidence. He didn't realize that Mac had already anticipated this. Commander, the chief whispered to Mac as they returned to the docks. Grimshaw is out of bed. He's wandering around the laundry shack in a disguise, trying to catch us with the Sultan's party. Mac didn't miss a beat. Is he now? Well, the Grand Marshal's shuttle just broke the atmosphere. Baxter, hide the princesses in the air raid shelter. I'm going to go greet our guest of honor. Chapter 4. The Haunting of Vessel 73. Grand Marshal Stone arrived with the warmth of a glacier. Grimshaw is in the hospital, I hear. And you are in charge, Maverick? Just keeping the seat warm, sir, Mac said, saluting perfectly. I heard reports of festivities, Stone said, his eyes scanning the horizon. Hallucinations, sir, Mac said, sadly. The captain has been under a lot of strain. He thinks he sees hula dancers everywhere. In fact, he's currently in the laundry shack, claiming there are princesses hiding in the wash cycles. At that exact moment, a suit-covered Grimshaw burst out of the laundry shack, pointing wildly. Grand Marshal! Grand Marshal! The hula girls! They're in the bunker! McHale, I mean. Maverick is hiding them. Stone looked at the soot-stained captain in a seaman's uniform. Captain Grimshaw? Why are you dressed as a deck swabber? And why are you yelling about dancers? Because they're there. I saw them, Grimshaw screamed. Mac leaned in. Sir, I think it's the oceanic fever. He's been talking to a lizard he calls Sydney all morning. Stone shook his head. Pitiful. Captain, return to your quarters immediately. That is an order. But Grimshaw wasn't finished. Desperate to prove Maverick's incompetence, he decided to frame the crew for being cursed. He fabricated a report claiming Vessel 73 was haunted by the ghosts of a drowned crew. The Sea Wolves decided to lean into the joke. Using a tank of holographic laughing gas they'd borrowed from the medbay, they rigged the base's ventilation. That night, Grimshaw woke up to find his room filled with glowing, translucent figures of the Sea Wolves. Wally Grimshaw, a ghostly voice. Definitely, Mac through a voice filter, echoed. We have come for the payroll. We have come for the gravity belts. Grimshaw, high on laughing gas, began to giggle hysterically. Ghosts! Oh, you're such funny ghosts. Have a martini. When Grand Marshal Stone walked in for a midnight check, he found Grimshaw dancing a jig with a mop, laughing at the ceiling. I've seen enough, Stone said, his voice cold. Commander Maverick, you will continue as acting commander. Captain Grimshaw is being sent to the Lunar Sanatorium for a long rest. Chapter 5. The Case of the Missing Credits. Just as things were settling down, a real crisis hit. The sector's monthly payroll, 62,000 galactic credits in cold, hard, unmarked chips went missing. Ensign Baxter was the last to see it. I was walking down Casino Row to take the shortcut, sir, Baxter explained, his lip trembling. I tripped over a Well, I thought it was a lamppost, but it was a very tall lady in a blue dress. When I woke up, the bag was gone. A lady in a blue dress? Mac mused. Did she have any distinguishing features? A heart-shaped birthmark on her right ankle, Baxter said confidently. I remember, because it was right where well, it was right there. The base went into lockdown. Grimshaw, hearing of the theft from his mandatory rest, saw one last chance to reclaim his dignity. They stole it themselves, he told Higgins. Mac and his pirates. We'll trap them. We'll mark some bills. Let them find them. And then wham. Brig time. Grimshaw placed a trap wallet in the marshes at the edge of the base. However, he didn't account for the local wildlife. A gator squid, an indigenous creature the crew had named Sydney, swallowed the wallet whole. When Mac found the creature, it was playfully tossing the wallet into the air. Sydney! Mac laughed. You've got the captain's ID. Boys, we've got a witness. The court-martial of the century took place in the base hangar. Grimshaw was the prosecutor, foaming at the mouth. Maverick and his crew stole the payroll. I found my ID card in their possession. Actually, sir, Mac said, standing up. We found your ID in the mouth of a six-legged swamp beast, which suggests, Your Honor, that the captain has been spending his nights in the marshes, perhaps attempting to hide the money himself. I was setting a trap, Grimshaw screamed. I used Higgins' back pay to bait the wallet. The judge, a stern-faced Commodore, looked at Higgins. Is this true, Lieutenant? Higgins, terrified, nodded. Yes, sir. The captain took my 3 months' pay to use as bait. The Commodore slammed his gavel. Attempting to frame your own officers using a subordinate's salary? Captain Grimshaw. This is a new low. And where is this lady in the blue dress? The ensign mentioned. At that moment, the sea wolves entered, leading a very confused, very large swamp beast, wearing a blue silk top. There she is, sir, Mac said solemnly. The lady in question. It seems Sydney here has a penchant for blue fabric and shiny bags of credits. The creature burped, and a shower of credit chips hit the floor. Case dismissed, the Commodore yelled. And somebody get that animal a peanut butter sandwich. Epilogue. The Sapphire Outpost returned to its usual state of chaotic harmony. Mac Maverick remained the commander in all but name, as Grimshaw was far too busy arguing with his doctors about whether or not the squids were truly singing. Baxter was promoted to junior logistics coordinator, which mostly meant he was in charge of making sure Sydney didn't eat any more payrolls. As the sun set over the sapphire seas of Oceanus Prime, Mac leaned back in his hammock, the sea wolves laughing in the distance. You know, Baxter, Mac said, taking a sip of his neon drink. It's a tough galaxy, but as long as we've got a fast boat, a loyal crew, and a captain who's allergic to common sense, I think we'll do just fine. Wowie, wow, sir, Baxter replied. Exactly, Barnaby, exactly. The end. The Chronicles of Zanzibar Prime, a novel of galactic misfits, bureaucratic blunders, and the great neon heist. Prologue. The Zen of Laziness. In the far-flung reach of the Alpha Centauri sector lies a cluster of tropical moons known as Zanzibar Prime. To the Intersystem Peacekeepers, ISP, it was a strategic supply hub. Peli, Hazenda, Peli. To the rest of the galaxy, it was a high-priced resort where the sand was synthetically soft and the oxygen was scented with lavender. At the heart of this paradise was the ISP Outpost 7. It was supposed to be a bastion of discipline. Instead, it was a playground for the Rogue Squad, a group of elite but highly unmotivated soldiers led by the legendary Captain Silas Sly Sterling. They operated the Starskiff 7, a modified patrol vessel that spent more time transporting illegal moonshine and luxury hula droids than it did patrolling for pirates. Against them stood Commander Barnaby, the Bluster Blythe, a man whose blood pressure was high enough to power a small starship and whose obsession with protocol was matched only by his deep, abiding hatred for Silas Sterling. Chapter 1. The Quantum Strap Crisis. Commander Blythe sat at his desk, staring at a requisition form that made his left eye twitch. "Garter belts?" he roared, his voice echoing through the steel halls of the command center. Lieutenant Percy Pringle, a man who looked like he had been born wearing an oversized helmet and an expression of perpetual apology, stumbled into the office. "Sir." "Yes, sir. Requisition for the nursing staff ceremonial 0G uniforms. Sir, you are the supply officer, Pringle. If the medical staff needs quantum suspension straps or garter belts, as you so crudely put it, you snap to it. You shake a leg. I am carrying the weight of the entire sector on my shoulders, and I am drowning in lingerie requests." Blythe slumped back, popping a handful of glowing blue antacid pills. "Everything is a mess. The sinks in the officers' lounge are backing up with purple slime, the hula droids are malfunctioning, and now I get a priority 1 message from the high command." Pringle leaned in, his glasses slipping down his nose. "Not Grand Marshal Thorne, sir?" Blythe's face turned a shade of pale that suggested he was about to faint. "Yes, Titan Thorne, Iron Pants himself. He's coming for a sneak inspection today. If he sees the rogue squad running around in floral shirts and the base in this state, he'll have my stripes for breakfast and my head for dessert." Blythe looked at Pringle. A slow, cunning smile spread across his face. It was the look of a man who had decided to let someone else jump onto the grenade. "Pringle, I feel a migraine coming on. A terrible, incapacitating, intergalactic migraine. If I was sick, I couldn't possibly meet the Grand Marshal, could I? I would have to appoint an acting base commander." "Sir? You don't mean—" "Exactly," Blythe hissed. "I'll appoint Silas Sterling. With that criminal in charge, the rogue squad will run so wild that they'll destroy themselves right in front of Thorne. It's brilliant. I get a medical leave, and Silas gets a court-martial. Call the medics. Tell them I'm dying." Chapter 2. The Accidental Commander. Captain Silas Sterling was currently lounging on the deck of the Starskiff 7, watching his crew attempt to grill a giant space lobster using a plasma torch. "Captain!" Pringle shouted as he ran down the pier. "Emergency, Commander Blythe has." "Well, he's had a total physical collapse. He's appointed you acting base commander." Silas pushed his sunglasses up. "Me? Acting commander? Blythe must be more than sick. He must be delirious. Is there a catch, Percy?" "No catch. Just—" Silas whistled. "Thorne. The man who once court-martialed his own shadow for not standing at attention. Well, boys," he turned to his crew, "you heard the man. Let's show the Grand Marshal how we do things on Zanzibar Prime." Within 10 minutes, Silas had moved into Blythe's office. He put his feet on the desk, lit a prohibited cigar, and opened the base's high-priority comms. "Chief!" Silas barked into the radio. "What's the status on those sinks?" "Still backing up." "Skip. We found a crate of illegal moonshine hidden in the pipes." "Excellent," Silas grinned. "Distribute the moonshine to the mechanics and tell the hula droids to start the welcoming ceremony. But the inspection, the best way to distract the Grand Marshal is with a strategic cultural exchange. Chief, move it." Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Swindle. While Blythe lay in the infirmary, feigning a coma and listening to the distant sound of ukulele music, a new problem arrived. A golden star yacht drifted into the hangar. It was the High Archon of Silos, a sovereign ruler whose alliance was vital to the ISP. He had arrived with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Nebula, for a diplomatic visit that Blythe had completely forgotten about in his panic. Silas, wearing a stolen dress uniform and a lei made of fiber-optic flowers, met the Archon at the docks. "Tala, Tala, Tala. Greetings, exalted one," Silas said with a bow that was surprisingly graceful for a man who had spent the morning drinking contraband. "I am acting Commander Silas Sterling. Welcome to our humble moon." The Archon, a tall man with a beard braided with gemstones, looked impressed. "Your hospitality is legendary, Silas. I have heard much of your Starskiff. My daughters wish to experience the thrill of a patrol." Silas glanced at the Archon's daughters. They were stunning, but they were also clearly bored. Highness, it would be our honor, but I must warn you, the Star Skiff 7 is a vessel of high-intensity action. It's quite relaxing. Excellent, the Archon boomed. And I shall handle the controls myself. The mission was a disaster. The Archon nearly crashed the ship into a floating reef, and Pringle, who had been appointed executive protocol officer, he spent the entire trip blindfolded because he was accidentally participating in a crew-led machine gun disassembly contest. Back at the base, Blythe had recovered enough to realize that he was missing the glory of the Archon's visit. He donned a seaman's uniform to sneak out and spy on Simicias, only to be caught in the middle of a hula-dancing distraction meant for Grand Marshal Thorne. "Aha!" Blythe screamed, pointing a trembling finger at Silas. "I've caught you. Girls in the air raid shelter. Illegal festivities. Grand Marshal, look." Grand Marshal Thorne, a man who looked like he was carved out of granite, turned to Blythe. "Commander, why are you wearing a seaman's uniform and screaming about hula dancers? And why is the High Archon of Xylos currently wearing a grass skirt and laughing?" It's a hallucination, sir," Pringle shouted, stepping in. "The commander is suffering from combat fatigue, high blood pressure, indigestion. He needs to be sedated immediately." Thorne shook his head. "Sterling, you've managed to secure the Silos alliance and keep the men's morale at an all-time high. Blythe, get back to the hospital. You're a disgrace to the uniform." Chapter 4. The Gas of Gladness. A week later, the peace was shattered once more. Pringle had accidentally torpedoed a garbage scow, believing it was a cloaked enemy infiltrator. Blythe, seeking vengeance, had convened a fitness board to have Pringle dishonorably discharged. "I've got him now, Silas," Blythe cackled in his office. "Pringle is finished. Kaput. I'm going to break him down to a kitchen bot." Silas sat in the Starskiff 7's mess hall, brainstorming with the crew. "We need Blythe in a good mood. A really good mood. The kind of mood where he'd promote a rock to admiral." "What about the dentist supply, Skip?" the chief suggested. "They just got a shipment of nitrous oxide euphoria gas. One whiff of that, and you could tell Blythe his house was on fire, and he'd thank you for the warmth." The plan was set. The crew rigged a canister of the gas to the ventilation system of Blythe's office. The next morning, as the fitness board members, a group of stone-faced colonels, arrived, Silas gave the signal. "Spray the shrubs, boys," Silas shouted. The gas flooded the office. Blythe, who had been mid-rant about Pringle's incompetence, suddenly stopped. His face softened. A giggle escaped his lips. "You know, Pringle," Blythe chirped, his voice sounding oddly high-pitched. "That garbage scow was... It was a very ugly scow. You did the galaxy a favor. You're a hero, Chucky Wucky." "A hero." He skipped over to Pringle and pinched his cheeks. "My little brave soldier, I'm canceling the hearing. Let's have a party. Does anyone have any chocolate-covered space raisins?" The fitness board colonels looked on in horror as their commander began to dance with a goldenrod plant. "He's lost it," the senior colonel whispered. Completely unhinged. Just then, the gas began to drift out the window. Blythe shook his head, the euphoria fading into a sharp, cold realization. Wait. What was I saying? Pringle, you're under arrest. Where is my wrench? I'm going to dismantle you myself. But it was too late. The fitness board had seen enough. They ruled that Pringle's heroic actions and Blythe's obvious insanity warranted a dismissal of all charges. Chapter 5. The ghosts of Starskiff 7. Desperate to get Silas and his crew transferred to a hazardous combat zone, Blythe dug up an old, classified report. He discovered that the Starskiff 7 had originally been commissioned as the SS-13, a ship with a history of terrible luck and mysterious explosions. "I'll convince them the ship is jinxed," Blythe told Pringle. "They're superstitious sailors. They'll beg for a transfer." He began leaving official reports lying around about the ghost of the 13th skiff. He even used a holographic projector to make a phantom captain appear in the crew's quarters. The rogue squad was terrified. "Skip, we're living on borrowed time," the chief cried. "The 13 is a death trap." Silas, however, saw the projector's power cord Oh, it's a jinx, is it? Silas smiled. Well, if we're haunted, let's give the commander a visit from the other side. That night, Blythe was sitting in his quarters, celebrating his impending victory. Suddenly, the lights flickered. A low, mournful moan echoed through the vents. Va-ali. Blythe froze. Who's there? 5. Glowing. Translucent figures drifted through the walls. They were draped in white engine shrouds, their faces painted with glowing phosphorescent slime. We are the ghosts of the SS. 13. Commander, the lead figure, who sounded suspiciously like Silas, groaned. We've come for the man who sent us to our doom. We've come for the transfers. Transfers? Blythe stammered, diving under his bed. I don't have any transfers. The rogue squad. They must stay. Or we shall haunt your bathroom for all eternity. Whoa, Ali. Blythe scrambled to his desk, grabbed the transfer papers he had spent weeks preparing, and threw them into the air. Take them! Just go away. Don't touch my martini. The ghosts snatched the papers and vanished. The next morning, Silas presented the shredded transfers to Blythe. Found these blowing in the wind, sir. Guess the universe wants us to stay right here. Chapter 6. The Neo-Caledonian Neon Heist. The final straw came when Silas and the crew were sent to the planet Neo-Caledonia. A sprawling, neon-drenched metropolis of casinos and luxury to pick up the base's monthly payroll. 62,000 galactic credits, Blythe whispered to Pringle. In small, unmarked bills. If that money goes missing while Sterling is in charge, there's no ghost, no gas, and no Archon that can save him. It's a one-way trip to the penal colonies. Silas knew it was a setup. Listen up, boys, he told the crew as they docked at the Neo-Caledonian port. The commander wants us to lose this money, so we are going to be more careful than a cat in a room full of rocking chairs. But Silas hadn't accounted for Lieutenant Pringle's utter lack of situational awareness. While Silas was at a high-level security meeting, Pringle was tasked with carrying the payroll bag through the saloon district. He was immediately distracted by a street performer, tripped over a loose hover cable, and knocked himself unconscious. When he woke up, the bag was gone. Skip! Pringle wailed when Silas found him. I lost it. It's gone. The credits. All 62,000 of them. Describe what you saw, Percy, Silas urged. Anything. An ankle, Pringle cried. A girl's ankle. She had a birthmark, a tiny brown heart right on the bone, and a man in a grey suit grabbed the bag. The hunt was on. The rogue squad fanned out across the city, lifting tablecloths and checking the ankles of every female alien in Neo-Caledonia. It was a diplomatic nightmare. Excuse me, madame, the chief said to a three-legged Venusian. Meanwhile, Blythe had arrived on the planet with a squad of MPs, ready to catch Silas red-handed. Where's the money, Sterling? Blythe demanded, cornering Silas in a crowded casino. Admit it. You spent it all on moonshine and hula droids. We were robbed, Commander, Silas shouted. By a man in a grey suit and a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark. A likely story. Blythe laughed. MPs, arrest them. Just then, Silas spotted a man in a grey suit scurrying toward a back alley, carrying a familiar canvas bag. He was accompanied by a woman. There, Percy, check the ankle. Pringle dove through the air, tackling the woman. I've got it. The heart. It's her. The man in the grey suit pulled out a blaster, but Silas was faster. He grabbed a nearby ceremonial antique cannon, a souvenir from the planet's founding, and stuffed it with a handful of Pringle's peanut butter sandwiches. Fire! Silas yelled. The cannon roared. Instead of a cannonball, it launched a sticky, high-velocity mass of peanut butter and bread. It hit the thief square in the chest, pinning him to the wall. The canvas bag flew into the air, burst open, and rained 62,000 credits down upon the crowd. Grand Marshal Thorne, who had been vacationing nearby and was currently eating an ice cream cone, walked over to the scene. He looked at the thief pinned by peanut butter, then at the credits, and then at a purple-faced Commander Blythe. Sterling, Thorne said, wiping a stray credit off his sleeve. I assume this was a tactical capture of the payroll thieves? Yes, sir, Silas saluted. We tracked them through the saloon district. Used non-lethal, organic projectiles to secure the objective. Thorne nodded. Brilliant. Blythe, stop trying to arrest your best officer. And for heaven's sake, man, help them pick up the money. You're holding up the ice cream line. Epilogue. The sunset on Outpost 7. As the sun set over the lavender-scented moons of Zanzibar Prime, Silas Sterling and his crew sat on the deck of the Star Skiff 7, clinking glasses of contraband champagne. To the rogue squad, Silas toasted. The only crew in the galaxy that can save the day with a peanut butter sandwich. In the distance, the sounds of Commander Blythe's screaming could be heard drifting from the command tower. He was currently counting the credits for the 10th time, convinced that one was missing. You know, Skip, Pringo said, leaning back. I think I'm going to like it here. Silas smiled. Just don't torpedo any more garbage scows, Percy. My heart can't take it. And so, the misfits of Outpost 7 continued their long, lazy watch over the galaxy. Always one blunder away from a court-martial, and one miracle away from a medal. The chaos of Sector Azure, a comedy of errors, erasures, and alligators. Chapter 1. The Ulcer and the Admiral. Commodore Barnaby Baxter, known to his subordinates as Old Iron Stomach, behind his back, and Sir, yes sir, to his face, was currently experiencing a gastric event that could have powered a small spacecraft. He leaned over his mahogany desk at Station Mariposa, clutching his midsection as if trying to prevent his internal organs from staging a coup. Wow, Baxter whispered to the empty room. Wow, wow, wow. Ergonomic silk suspenders. You are the supply officer here, Finch. If the medical staff needs high-tensile silk suspenders to keep their morale up, you snap to it. Shake a leg, or a wing, whatever needs shaking. Lieutenant Finch, a man whose spine was so rigid, it was rumored he slept standing up in a locker, saluted so hard he nearly gave himself a concussion. The requisition forms are in triplicate. Commodore, but we have a larger problem. I just received a priority burst from Central Command. Baxter groaned, reached for a bottle of neon pink antacid, and swigged it like fine vintage wine. Don't tell me. Is it the budget? Is it the leaky fuel lines? It's High Chancellor Hammer Hardgrove, sir, Finch said, his voice dropping an octave. He's arriving this afternoon for a surprise efficiency audit. He's already in the sector. Baxter's face turned a shade of grey, usually reserved for industrial concrete. Hardgrove was a man who looked for dust on the blades of a moving fan. Mariposa, unfortunately, was a base held together by duct tape, optimistic thinking, and the sheer audacity of one Commander Maverick Sterling. Do you realize what a mess this place is? Baxter shrieked, suddenly diverted by a blinking light on his intercom. He slapped the button. What? This is Commodore Baxter. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past? The sinks in the officers' lounge are backing up? He turned back to Finch, his eyes darting. My stomach acid could dissolve a bulkhead. If I'm this sick, wait, Finch. If I'm incapacitated, I have to appoint an acting base commander. And that acting commander would have to be the one to face the Chancellor's wrath, right? Finch blinked. Technically, yes, sir. But surely you wouldn't mean. Not you, Finch. You're too competent. I need a sacrificial lamb. I need Maverick Sterling and his band of aquatic derelicts. With Sterling in charge, Mariposa will turn into a circus, and the Chancellor will blame him for the chaos. I'll be tucked away in the infirmary, safe and sound. Baxter collapsed onto his sofa, feigning a swoon. Call the medics. Call the nurses. Tell them I'm dying. Tell them it's the Azure fever. Chapter 2. The Commander and the Clown. Commander Maverick Sterling was currently supervising a tactical exercise on the Sea Fox, which mostly involved his crew seeing how many pineapples they could balance on a sleeping alligator. Sterling was a man who viewed regulations as polite suggestions written by people who had never seen the sun. When the summons came to report to the Commodore's bedside, he arrived with his executive officer, Junior Lieutenant Percy Pringle. Percy was a man who could trip over a flat surface in a vacuum. "Oh, Maverick," Baxter moaned from beneath a pile of blankets in the infirmary. "The doctors. They don't know. It's bad. Very bad. I'm appointing you acting base commander, and Pringle. Heaven help us. You're the acting executive officer." Percy's eyes lit up like a child in a candy store. "Me? An exec? Oh, Maverick, did you hear that? I'll be a legend. I'll be the hand of justice. You'll be a disaster," Sterling muttered, but he saw the glint in Baxter's eye. He knew a trap when he smelled one, and Baxter smelled like a man who had just hidden a ticking bomb under a chair. "Fine, Commodore. We'll take the burden off your hands." The moment they left, Baxter sat up and grinned. "Finch, this is going to be the happiest illness of my life. By tonight, Sterling will be court-martialed, and I'll be the hero who survived the fever." Meanwhile, in the main office, the transition was abrupt. "Sterling here," Maverick said into the phone, feet up on Baxter's desk. "What? The radar is tracking an unidentified object? Probably a bird with an attitude. Tell them to ignore it. Pringle, get off the floor." Percy was currently tangled in the core of a desk lamp. "I was just checking the nomenclature of the light bulb." "Sir!" "Oh, and the supply lines found those silk suspenders the nurses wanted. I'll deliver them personally." "Great," Sterling sighed. "And the crew? What are they doing?" "They asked for permission to throw a cultural exchange festival." "Sir," Percy said, adjusting his glasses. "I told them full speed ahead." Sterling froze. "A festival? While the Chancellor is on his way?" He paused, a slow, dangerous smile spreading across his face. "Actually, Percy, tell them to make it a big festival. Let's give the Chancellor something to really audit." Chapter 3. The Archduke and the Euphoria Gas. The situation escalated when a VIP transport made an emergency landing. It wasn't the Chancellor, not yet. It was the Archduke of Orizaba, a man whose ego had its own gravitational pull, traveling with his 3 daughters, the Archduchesses. "I am Karim," the Archduke announced, stepping off the ramp. "I travel with priceless cargo." "Are these creatures to be trusted with my daughters?" Sterling bowed with practiced charm. "Your Grace, we are the GPA's finest. Welcome to Mariposa. Please, ignore the man currently trying to eat his own tie. That's just Percy." To keep the Archduke distracted, Sterling offered him a ride on the Sea Fox. The Archduke, fascinated by the boat's primitive controls, insisted on steering. He nearly took out a pier, a flock of flamingos, and Baxter's personal gazebo. While Sterling was playing diplomat, Percy and the crew were facing a crisis. Percy was up for a fitness board review, and if he failed, he'd be sent to a frozen outpost in the north. "We need to get the Commodore in a good mood," Gus, the crew's resident moonshiner, suggested. "If he's happy, he'll cancel the board." "Baxter hasn't been happy since the invention of the frown," Sterling noted. "But I did see a tank of nitrous oxide euphoria gas at the dental clinic. If we accidentally vent it into his office during the hearing." The plan was set. When the fitness board convened, Baxter was prepared to tear Percy apart. But as the crew pumped the gas through the ventilation, the Commodore's face began to twitch. July 16th. Baxter began, his voice suddenly airy. Lieutenant Pringle torpedoed, a garbage scow, because he thought it was a submarine decorated with potato peels. Baxter started to giggle, then he started to roar with laughter. "Potato peels. It's a riot." "Oh, Pringle, you're a genius. A comedy genius. Cancel the board. Give this man a medal. Give everyone a medal." Chancellor Hardgrove, arriving just in time to see Baxter dancing on his desk and calling Percy his little pussycat, was not impressed. Baxter, Hardgrove barked. "What is the meaning of this?" "Hi, Chancellor. You look like a giant marshmallow." Baxter shrieked, trying to pinch Hardgrove's cheeks. Sterling stepped forward, looking remarkably solemn. "I'm afraid it's the azure fever, Chancellor. Combat fatigue. The poor man has been under a terrific strain. He's been having hallucinations about girls in the air raid shelters for weeks. Baxter was dragged away by medics, still singing a bawdy sea shanty, while Sterling and his crew stood at perfect, mock-serious attention. Chapter 4. The Neon Isles and the Stolen Credits. With Baxter confined to the relaxation ward, Sterling decided the crew deserved a weekend at the Neon Isles, a nearby port city that was 20% commerce and 80% bad decisions. The mission: pick up the base payroll 62,000 digital credits stored in a physical security drive. Percy Pringle was entrusted with the drive. "I can do it, Maverick! I'll use the shortcut down the casino district. Casino, 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 casino." The casino district? Percy, stay away from the... It was too late. 2 hours later, Percy crawled back to the boat, missing his shoes, his hat, and the 62,000 credits. "I was mugged," Percy wailed. "By a lamppost. No, it was a girl. She had a birthmark. A little brown heart on her right ankle. I saw it as she kicked me in the ribs." "A heart-shaped birthmark?" Sterling rubbed his chin. "In a city of 10 million people? This is going to be a long night." The crew fanned out across the Neon Isles. They checked bars, dance halls, and even a very confused knitting circle. They were looking for ankles. Every table was lifted. Every hemline was scrutinized. Not a heart in sight. "Skip," Gus reported, panting. "I got chased out of a spa for trying to examine a lady's pedicure." Suddenly, a scream erupted from a nearby alley. It was Percy. He was being chased by a very large, very angry man in a tuxedo. "There he is," Percy pointed. "That's the guy who was with the girl. He's carrying a bag." The chase was on. Through the neon-soaked streets, over fruit stands, and through a wedding ceremony where Percy accidentally caught the bouquet, they pursued the thief. The thief ducked into an old warehouse filled with decommissioned military hardware. "He's trapped," Sterling yelled. But, as they closed in, Baxter appeared. He had escaped the infirmary. Wearing a stolen seaman's uniform, and looking like he had personally survived a hurricane. "I've got you now, Sterling," Baxter screamed. "I know you swiped the payroll. I saw the drive in your hand." "We don't have it, Commodore," Sterling yelled back. "The thief is in that old ceremonial cannon." "A cannon? Don't give me your fairy tales." Baxter lunged for Sterling. But at that exact moment, the thief tried to crawl out of the cannon's barrel. Percy, in a panic, grabbed a nearby lighter and ignited the ancient fuse. Boom! The cannon didn't fire a shell. It fired the security drive, 62,000 credits worth of digital chips, and a very confused thief, directly into Baxter's open arms. Chips rained down like snow. What is this?" Baxter stammered, covered in digital money. "That's the payroll, sir," Sterling said, brushing dust off his shoulder. "And look, there's the girl with the birthmark. She's the thief's accomplice." "She does have a heart on her ankle." Percy looked at the girl, then at the credits, then at the Commodore. "Does this mean I still get to keep the bouquet?" Chapter 5. The Alligator's Justice. The final showdown occurred back at Mariposa. Baxter, determined to prove Sterling had set him up, claimed that Sterling's pet alligator, Rex, had stolen his personal wallet. "I'm telling you, the beast took it," Baxter screamed during the court-martial. "It's a trained thief, a cold-blooded pickpocket." Sterling sat at the defense table, looking bored. "Commodore, alligators don't have pockets, and Rex is a law-abiding reptile." "I object," Percy shouted, standing up. "Rex may look stupid, but he had an unhappy childhood. He was raised in a sewer." "Order in the court," the judge advocate yelled. "Sterling, produce the alligator, or I'll find you in contempt." The doors swung open. Gus and Vinny rolled in a massive tank. Rex, the alligator, sat inside, looking smug. In his mouth was a leather wallet. "Aha!" Baxter shrieked. "There it is, my ID card, my 900 credits." "Wait, sir," Sterling said, gesturing to Percy. "Check the serial numbers." Percy compared the bills in the wallet to a list in his hand. Sir, these bills are marked. They match the serial numbers of Lieutenant Finch's back pay. The money Baxter used to bait us into a trap. The judge advocate peered over his spectacles. So, Commodore Baxter, you used government funds to stage a fake robbery to frame your subordinates? Baxter's jaw dropped. No, the alligator. It was the alligator's idea. Rex the alligator let out a low, rumbling hiss that sounded remarkably like a laugh. Case dismissed, the judge declared. And, Commodore, I suggest you take a very long, very permanent vacation, perhaps to the North Outpost. As Baxter was led away, Sterling leaned back and looked at his crew. Mariposa was still a mess. The sinks were still backed up. The Sea Fox was still leaking oil, but the sun was shining. The Archduke's daughters were waving from the pier, and Percy had finally learned how to wear his hat the right way. Well, boys, Sterling said, lighting a cigar. The end. The Starskipper Scandals. A Tale of Void Fever and Galactic Credits. Prologue. The most dangerous moon in the sector. The moon of Gaia, 7, was supposed to be a paradise. Nestled in the temperate Goldilocks zone of the Xylos system, it was a place of turquoise oceans, purple palm trees, and the finest luxury spas in the Galactic Union. However, for Director Barnaby Vane, a man whose face was permanently set in a grimace that suggested he had just swallowed a lemon-scented battery, it was a den of iniquity. Vane was the director of security for the Gaia 7 Resort Detachment. His primary mission was to maintain galactic order. His secondary mission, and the one that occupied 99% of his waking hours, was to find a legal way to court-martial Commander Jack Sterling and the crew of the SS-73 Star Skipper. Sterling and his men, known across the sector as the Solar Scoundrels, were a group of highly decorated, yet highly unconventional, pilots. They were officially stationed to protect the resort from space pirates. Unofficially, they ran a black market supply line of rare delicacies, hosted illegal high-stakes hover poker games, and had turned their Star Skipper into a floating lounge. Chapter 1. The Magnetic Pulse Suspenders. Director Vane paced his office, his boots clicking on the polished obsidian floor. In front of him stood his aide, Lieutenant Pringle, a man so clumsy he could trip over a flat shadow. Wow, 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 Vane shouted, waving a datapad. Pringle, you are the supply officer of this entire moon. If the resort dancers need magnetic pulse suspenders, you find them. Snap to it. Shake, I'll be on its leg. Sir, the dancers are complaining that the anti-gravity generators in their costumes are malfunctioning, Pringle stuttered. What a war. Vane groaned, rubbing his temples. Everything is on my shoulders. And now, I get a message from the Sector Command. High Commissioner Iron Boots Steele is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Steele, the man who once fired a subordinate for having a wrinkled cape. Vane looked around his office. The plasma disposal units were backing up. The petty officer's lounge was smelling of fermented synth ale, and Commander Sterling was currently sunbathing on the hull of his ship. This place is a disaster, Vane whispered. Then the comlink chirped. Director Vane here. Who did you expect? The Empress of Mars? Listen, Pringle, my stomach acid could power a jump ship. Give me those indigestion pills. Sir, please, Pringle said, handing over a bottle of neon blue capsules. You know those give you hallucinations. I don't care, Vane cried. If I were truly ill, I wouldn't have to face Steele. Wait. Pringle, if I were sick, I could appoint an acting director, someone to take the heat, someone like Sterling. A wicked smile spread across Vane's face. If he put Jack Sterling in charge during a Steele inspection, the scoundrels would surely commit enough infractions to be sent to the spice mines for a millennium. Chapter 2. The Tactical Space Ailment. Jack Sterling was a man of effortless charm and dubious ethics. When he was summoned to the director's medical suite, he found Vane lying under a thermal blanket, moaning like a dying nebula. Oh, Jax, Vane wheezed. It's the void fever. The doctors don't know if I'll make it through the hour. I need an acting director. Someone. Sir, I'm just a simple pilot, Jack said, sensing a trap. I'd be no good behind a desk. Give it to Pringle. Pringle is a boob, Vane shouted, then quickly returned to a moan. No, it must be you. And to help you, I'm appointing your little friend, Pringle, as your executive officer. Pringle beamed. Oh boy, did you hear that, Jax? We're in charge. Jax sighed. All right, Director. Rest easy. We'll handle everything. As soon as Jax and Pringle left the room, Vane sat bolt upright. Carmen, get my uniform ready. I want to watch this disaster from the shadows. Steel is going to eat them alive. Chapter 3. The Archon of Xylos and the Hula debacle. No sooner had Jax taken the seat in the director's office than the comms exploded. Sir, the plumbing in the VIP wing is leaking. Commander, we found a shipment of hula costumes for the festival. Jax, there's an unidentified vessel entering the atmosphere. Jax rubbed his eyes. Pringle, get those costumes to the dancers. Gizmo, track that ship. Lucky, if the pipes are leaking, use some hull sealant. But the unidentified vessel turned out to be the private yacht of the Grand Archon of Xylos. The Archon was a man of immense wealth and zero patience. Traveling with his 3 daughters, the princesses of the Starflow, the crew of the SS-73 rescued the Archon after a minor engine flare-up, but in the process, Lucky and Sparky accidentally convinced the Archon that Wowie Wow Wow was a formal galactic greeting. Greetings, O exalted Archon, Jax said, trying to maintain decorum on the dock. Wowie Wow Wow Wow. Sparky shouted from the back, flapping his arms like a flightless bird. The Archon froze. You debase my dignity? You mock the princesses? No, sir. Jax intervened. That's a local moon dialect for welcome to paradise. Meanwhile, Gizmo and the boys had turned the moon's emergency air raid shelter into a pop-up tiki bar. When High Commissioner Steele's shuttle finally touched down, the moon of Gaia, 7, looked less like a military outpost and more like a chaotic spring break on Venus. Chapter 4. The Case of the Joy Gas. Vane, watching from the bushes in a stolen seaman's uniform, was ecstatic. Steele was furious. Sterling! Steele roared, looking at the tiki torches. What is this? Why is there a hula dancing competition in the bomb shelter? It's a psychological warfare drill, sir. Jax lied smoothly. Keeping the men's morale high prevents space madness. Vane couldn't wait any longer. He burst from the bushes. He's lying, Commissioner. There are princesses in the laundry room. There are illegal credits in the lockers. I have evidence, but the crew had a secret weapon. Gizmo had rigged the resort's ventilation system with joy gas, a harmless nitrous oxide derivative used for sedation in the med bay. As Vane began his rant, a cloud of pink gas hissed into the office. Vane began to giggle, and Sterling. He's a chucky-wacky. Commissioner Steele blinked. Director Vane, are you quite all right? I'm Bingy-Wingy, Vane shrieked, dancing on the table. Look at me. I'm an angel of the void. Steele turned to Jax. It seems the director has succumbed to space dementia. Commander Sterling, your performance during this crisis has been exemplary. You even managed to handle a raving lunatic while hosting a diplomatic Archon. I'm cancelling Vane's fitness reports. Chapter 5. Krog and the Galactic Credits. Just when Jax thought they were safe, a new disaster emerged. A space croc named Krog, a 6-legged reptilian beast the crew had adopted as a mascot, had crawled into the director's office and swallowed Vane's wallet. Inside that wallet was the entire moon's payroll. 62,000 galactic credits in untraceable chips. Sterling! Vane screamed, having finally recovered from the gas. You stole the payroll. I saw the beast with your ID card. You're going to the penal colony. Jax stood in the moon's courtroom, acting as his own defense. Krog, the space croc, sat in the witness box, looking bored. Sir, Jax addressed the judge. My client Krog is innocent. He didn't steal the money. He merely found it after the director dropped it while trying to frame us. An alligator stole my wallet? Vane yelled. This is ridiculous. I demand a conviction. Actually, Jack said, pulling a peanut butter sandwich from his pocket, Krog only eats the finest proteins. If he has the wallet, it's because he's a loyal servant of the Union. Jax tossed the sandwich. Krog snapped it out of the air, and in the process, spit out the metallic wallet. It skittered across the floor, landing at the judge's feet. The judge opened it. Inside were the credits, but they were marked with Vane's personal seal, a seal used only for operational traps. Director Vane, the judge said sternly. It appears you used the base payroll to set a trap for your own officers. This is a gross misuse of Union funds. But, Vane stammered. It was the space croc. The croc is in on it. Epilogue. The eternal grudge. As the sun set over the turquoise oceans of Gaia. 7. The crew of the SS-73 sat on the hull of their ship, sipping Sintail and watching the stars. Director Vane was back in his office, his eyebrows still singed from a minor accident with a plasma cannon, writing a 500 page report on why all reptilian mascots should be banned from the sector. Jack Sterling leaned back, looking at the moon's shimmering rings. Wowie wow wow, Jax, Pringle replied, promptly falling off the ship and into the water. Wowie wow wow, the chaos of Azure Peace, a novel of nautical nonsense and diesel punk. Diplomacy, Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Gambit. The archipelago of Azure Peace was neither peaceful nor particularly organized. At the heart of this tropical disarray sat the naval outpost of Isla de Caos, a place where the sun was hot, the gin was lukewarm, and the commanding officer, Commodore Barnaby, the bluster Sterling, was currently having a nervous breakdown over hosiery. Wow, 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 Sterling screamed, his face turning a shade of purple that matched the ripening dragon fruit outside his window. He slammed a fist onto his mahogany desk, sending a tray of indigestion pills rattling. Garter Belts, Lieutenant Pringle. You are the chief supply officer of this entire god-forsaken sector. If the nursing corps requires garter belts to keep their stockings from migrating to their ankles, you snap to it, you shake a leg, you know exactly what I mean. Lieutenant Percy Pringle, a man whose skeletal structure seemed to be held together entirely by anxiety and misplaced optimism, tripped over his own shadow as he saluted. Sir. Yes, sir. I have scouted the black markets from here to the Great Reef. But apparently, there is a global shortage of elasticized lace. Elasticized lace be damned, Sterling roared. Admiral Ironsides Rafferty is arriving today on a sneak inspection. Do you realize what that means? He doesn't look for tactical readiness. He looks for loose threads and sagging hosiery. This base is a shambles. The Petty Officers Club has sinks backing up with what I can only describe as primordial ooze. And you're telling me we're out of garter belts? The phone on Sterling's desk jangled like a caffeinated skeleton. He snatched it up. Sterling here. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past? Listen to me, you grease-stained imbecile. I am the commanding officer of Isla de Caos, not a plumber. If the sinks are backing up, tell the petty officers to wash their hands in the ocean. Good day. Sterling slammed the phone down and slumped into his chair, clutching his stomach. My stomach acid could start a steam engine, Pringle. Fetch me my pills. Sir, please, Pringle whimpered, offering a small translucent bottle. The doctor said those pills give you hallucinations of grandeur. Maybe you should just take it easy? Take it easy? Sterling's eyes narrowed into slits. If I'm here when Rafferty arrives, my career is over. But wait, Pringle, look at me. Do I look sick? You look like a man who has swallowed a live porcupine, sir. Excellent, Sterling whispered, a predatory grin spreading across his face. If I am medically incapacitated, I can appoint an acting base commander. Someone to take the brunt of Rafferty's iron-sighted wrath. Someone I can blame for the sinks, the garter belts, and the general lack of military decorum. Not Julian? Pringle asked hopefully. No, you ninny. Not Julian. Captain Silas, Sea Dog Maverick. With Maverick and his band of cutthroats from Sector 7 Inches charge, They'll turn this place into an orgy of incompetence within 20 minutes. Rafferty will walk in, see Maverick's men wearing coconuts for hats, and he'll court-martial the lot of them. I'll be tucked away in a hospital bed, a victim of tropical fatigue, rising from the ashes of Maverick's disgrace to reclaim my post. Sterling began to groan, clutching his midsection with theatrical fervor. Pringle, call the medics. I am fading. I am but a leaf in the storm. Hurry, you fool. Tell Maverick to report to my bedside immediately. The supreme test is upon us. Chapter 2. The Sickness and the Slipper. Captain Silas Maverick walked into the infirmary with the swagger of a man who owned the ocean and was currently renting out the waves to the highest bidder. Behind him trailed his crew. Jax, a man who could find a bottle of scotch in a desert. Barnaby, a mechanic who spoke primarily in grunts. And Smitty, a radio operator who spent more time eavesdropping on civilian love songs than military transmissions. Captain Sterling? Maverick asked, peering down at the figure, buried under 7 layers of wool blankets in 90-degree heat. I heard you were at death's door. I brought you some, medicinal papaya juice. Sterling let out a weak, pathetic wheeze. Maverick, it's a slipper slope. I am a very sick man. The medics don't know if I'll last the hour. The archipelago needs a leader. I am appointing you acting base commander. Maverick paused, his roguish eyes twinkling. Me? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I'm no good behind a desk. Lieutenant Carpenter here is much more suited for paperwork and sink fixing. Carpenter is a boob. Sterling shouted, momentarily forgetting his near-death state before collapsing back into the pillows. No, it must be you, and Pringle here shall be your executive officer. Go, take my office, this minute. As Maverick and his crew filed out, Maverick leaned into Pringle. Well, Puss, looks like we're moving into the big house. First order of business. We need to find those garter belts before the nurses start a mutiny. Back in the office, chaos reigned. Maverick sat with his boots on Sterling's mahogany desk, while Smitty tried to rewire the radio to pick up a jazz station from the mainland. Chief! Smitty shouted over the crackle of static. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club just exploded. Apparently, someone tried to clear the pipes with dynamite. Uzali, asuna suna suna. Azali, uzalina suna. Tell him to call it a controlled aquatic feature, Maverick said, lighting a cigar. And where are we on the garter belts? Jax burst into the room, holding a bundle of tangled black straps. Found them, Skip. Some supply ship dropped them off at the rifle range by mistake. I think they were using them to bundle ammunition. Great news, Maverick grinned. Get them to the nurses' quarters immediately. We have a sneak inspection to prepare for. Just then, the phone rang. It was the radar station. Commander, we've got a positive ID. Admiral, Ironsight's Rafferty's plane has just touched down. He's in a jeep and heading for the base. He looks angry, sir. Even from 3 miles away, his eyebrows look judgmental. All right, boys. Maverick stood up, adjusting his cap. The Admiral is coming. We need to look like a professional naval outfit. Smitty, hide the scotch. Barnaby, stop eating that sandwich. Pringle, try to look like you've seen a gun before. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the steaming goulash. The inspection was a disaster of the highest order. Admiral Rafferty, a man who looked like he had been carved out of a single piece of granite, marched through the base with Maverick in tow. Maverick, Rafferty barked. Why are there hula girls in the air raid shelter? Oh, those aren't hula girls, sir, Maverick said smoothly. That's the Cultural Integration Task Force. They're practicing for the upcoming diplomacy gala. Rafferty narrowed his eyes. And why is your executive officer wearing a lei over his uniform? Native custom, sir, Pringle chimed in, trembling so hard his medals rattled. To ward off the saltwater demons. Rafferty was about to let out a roar that would have leveled the barracks when a messenger ran up. Sir, Captain Sterling has made a miraculous recovery. He's at the docks, and we have a diplomatic emergency. The Sultan of Marami has been forced to make an emergency landing. Sterling, having heard of the Sultan's arrival, had leaped from his hospital bed like a man possessed. A sultan meant prestige. A sultan meant a potential promotion. And more importantly, the Sultan was traveling with his 3 daughters, the princesses of Marami. Your Highness, Sterling shouted, pushing Maverick aside as the Sultan's ornate seaplane bobbed in the harbor. I am Captain Wallace B. Sterling, your humble servant. Welcome to Isla de Caos. The Sultan, a man draped in silks and smelling of expensive wood, looked unimpressed. My plane has suffered engine failure. I am told your Captain Maverick is the only man who can fix it. Sterling's face fell. Maverick? No, your Highness. Maverick is a simple boatman. I have a team of highly trained mechanics. Pringo, get the tools. Actually, father, the eldest princess whispered, peering at Maverick with interest. I find the captain's boat quite intriguing. Perhaps he could give us a tour while we wait? Sterling's eye began to twitch. A tour? Of Sector 7's rust bucket? Surely you'd prefer my personal gig. It has velvet seat cushions. We want a fast boat, the princess insisted. For the next 3 days, the Sultan and his daughters were treated to the Maverick experience. This included illegal boat races, clandestine fishing trips involving hand grenades, and late-night luau parties on the beach. Sterling, relegated to the role of a glorified waiter, watched in horror as his base turned into a playground for the Marami royalty. I've got to get rid of him, Sterling hissed to Pringo. Maverick is debasing the dignity of the princesses. I'll frame him. I'll send him on a recon mission to the Forbidden Reef. There are no enemies there, just rocks and boredom. While he's gone, I'll win over the Sultan. But Sterling's plan backfired. The Sultan, thrilled by Maverick's navigational expertise, insisted that Maverick be the guest of honor at the grand banquet. Sterling was forced to watch as Maverick sat at the head of the table, sharing a communal pipe with the Sultan. Smooth, isn't it, Captain? Maverick asked, offering the pipe to Sterling. Sterling, determined to prove his diplomatic mettle, took a massive drag. Within seconds, his eyes rolled back in his head. The pipe was filled with a potent Marami herb that acted like a truth serum mixed with a mild hallucinogen. I hate this base, Sterling suddenly shouted, standing on his chair. And I hate garter belts. I only wanted to be an admiral so I could wear a cape. Maverick, you roguish dog. I've been trying to frame you for weeks. The Sultan stared in stunned silence. The princesses giggled. Maverick just toasted the room. Diplomacy, sir. It's an art form. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas and the Great Fitness Board. The diplomatic fallout was severe, but Sterling managed to blame the hallucinogenic pipe on Maverick. He poisoned me. Sterling screamed at the ensuing military inquiry. He wanted to humiliate me in front of the Sultan. I am convening a fitness board. I will have Maverick and Pringle stripped of their rank and sent to work in a coal mine. The fitness board was a terrifying prospect. Admiral Shoemaker, the most humorless man in the Navy, was arriving to preside over the hearing. We're doomed, Skip, Pringle moaned, pacing the deck of the PT-73. Shoemaker eats ensigns for breakfast. He doesn't even use salt. Relax, purse, Maverick said, leaning against the torpedo tube. I've got a plan. It involves a little something I borrowed from the base dentist. Nitrous oxide? Pringle asked, his eyes widening. Laughing gas, Maverick corrected. If we can't win them over with logic, we'll win them over with hysteria. The day of the hearing arrived. The courtroom was a grim, humid affair. Sterling sat at the prosecutor's table, looking smug. Admiral Shoemaker sat behind the bench, his face resembling a frozen ham. Captain Sterling, Shoemaker barked. Present your case against Lieutenant Pringle and Captain Maverick. With pleasure, sir, Sterling sneered. I have a list of infractions that would make a pirate blush. Insubordination, misappropriation of garter belts, and general clownishness. Just outside the window, Jackson and Smitty were busy with a long rubber hose connected to a pressurized tank. They fed the hose through a crack in the window frame and opened the valve. As Sterling began his opening statement, A faint, sweet-smelling mist began to fill the room. And furthermore, Sterling continued, Maverick's behavior during the Sultan's visit was... Actually, it was quite funny, wasn't it? Sterling stopped. A small giggle escaped his lips. He tried to suppress it, but it came out as a snort. Admiral Shoemaker frowned. Captain, this is a serious proceeding. Explain yourself. Pa, I'm sorry, sir, Sterling said, his shoulders shaking. It's just... I just remembered the way the Sultan looked when he saw the hula girls. He looked like a confused walrus. Sterling erupted into a fit of uncontrolled laughter. Shoemaker slammed his gavel. Order, order in the court. Captain Sterling, if you do not compose yourself, I shall have you. Suddenly, Shoemaker's face softened. A strange, goofy grin spread across his granite features. Actually, a confused walrus is a very apt description. Heh. Heh heh heh. Ha ha ha. Within minutes, the entire fitness board was in hysterics. Pringle, caught in the crossfire, began to hoot and holler. Maverick just sat there, looking like the most innocent man on earth. This case is... dismissed, Shoemaker roared, wiping tears from his eyes. Maverick, you're a barrel of monkeys. Sterling, go take a nap. You're a riot, man. A total riot. Sterling, still laughing uncontrollably, wandered out of the courtroom and accidentally saluted a palm tree. Chapter 5. The Mystery of the Missing. Payroll and Gnasher, the crocodile. The laughter didn't last long for Sterling. Humiliated and confused, he waited for his revenge. The opportunity came when the regional paymaster sent a signal. Isla de Caos payroll $62,000 in small unmarked bills to be collected by Sector 7 crew. This is it, Sterling whispered to his loyal and equally incompetent aide, Lieutenant Carpenter, the ultimate trap. I'll send Pringle to pick up the payroll. I'll tell him to take the shortcut through the local village of San Pedro. It's full of thieves and gamblers. When the money inevitably goes missing, Maverick and his crew will be charged with grand larceny. Sterling called Pringle into his office. Lieutenant, a mission of the utmost importance. You are to fetch the base payroll from the armored transport in San Pedro. Take the shortcut past the gambling casino and the rum distillery. And for heaven's sake, don't lose it. Pringle, terrified, set off with a canvas bag. However, fate had other plans. While walking past the docks, Pringle tripped over a loose plank. The bag flew out of his hands and landed directly in front of the base mascot, a 12-foot saltwater crocodile named Gnasher. Gnasher was a peculiar creature. He didn't eat people. He preferred the taste of processed meat and, apparently, expensive stationery. With a bored snap of his jaws, Gnasher swallowed the payroll bag whole. Pringle fainted. When Maverick found him, the lieutenant was catatonic. The crocodile. He's a walking vault, Skip. Gnasher ate $62,000. Well, Maverick mused, looking at the sunning reptile. At least the money is safe. Nobody's going in there to get it. But Sterling was already on the scene. Aha! The payroll is missing. Pringle, you've gambled it away at the casino. You're under arrest. He didn't gamble it, Maverick shouted. The crocodile ate it. Sterling let out a scoffing laugh. An alligator ate the payroll? And I suppose a mermaid stole the garter belts? Tell it to the judge, Maverick. The final court-martial was a circus. Sterling had hired a private investigator to find the stolen money, but all they found were empty champagne bottles in Maverick's quarters, leftovers from the Sultan's visit. Your Honor, Sterling shouted at the hearing. I demand Maverick be broken to the rank of cabin boy. He has clearly hidden the money in his secret offshore accounts. Sir, Maverick interrupted, I'd like to call a witness. Bring in Gnasher. The courtroom doors creaked open. Jax and Smitty hauled in a large wooden crate on wheels. Inside, Gnasher let out a low, rumbling growl. Is this some kind of joke? The judge barked. No, sir, Maverick said. Ganasha has been feeling a bit backed up lately. Jax, give him the special papaya juice. Jax poured a bottle of the base's strongest laxative down Ganasha's throat. The courtroom waited in breathless silence. Suddenly, Ganasha's eyes bulged. He let out a mighty heave. With the force of a small cannon, a soggy, green-stained canvas bag flew across the room and landed squarely in Sterling's lap. The bag burst open, showering Sterling in $62,000 of very wet, very smelly currency. "There's your payroll, Captain," Maverick grinned. "Told you he was a walk-in vault." Sterling, covered in crocodile, billy, and dollar bills, looked at the judge. The judge looked at the money. Case dismissed. The judge sighed. "And Captain Sterling, please take a shower. You're a disgrace to the uniform." "Tasai. Teya. 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 Teya." Epilogue. The Azure Peace returns. As the sun set over Isla de Caos, Maverick and his crew sat on the deck of the PT-73, enjoying a fresh batch of illegal gin. "You know, Skip," Pringle said, looking at Ganasha, who was now wearing a small sailor's hat, "I think we might actually survive this war." "Of course we will, Perce," Maverick said, clinking his glass against Pringle's. "As long as Sterling keeps trying to frame us and Ganasha stays hungry, we're the safest men in the Pacific." From the shore, the faint sound of Sterling's voice could be heard, screaming about a missing crate of silk pajamas. Maverick just smiled, closed his eyes, and let the warm breeze of the Azure Peace wash over him. In the end, military life wasn't about winning battles, it was about surviving your commanding officer. And, at Sector 7, they were the undisputed masters of survival. End of file. The Buccaneers of Blue Horizon. A Nautical Nightmare. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Ulcer of Doom. The morning sun over the Blue Horizon archipelago did not rise so much as it aggressively intruded upon the slumber of the Oceanic Peacekeeping Force, OPK. On the island of Giggling Palms, the humidity was thick enough to serve as a meal, and the local wildlife, mostly colorful birds with a penchant for mimicking swear words, was already in full throat. Commodore Barnaby, Twitchy Barnacle, sat in his office, his face a shade of purple that suggested either an impending stroke or an incredibly tight collar. Before him stood Lieutenant Piffle Pendergast Piff, a man whose military uniform seemed to be wearing him rather than the other way around. "Garter belts, Piff!" Barnacle bellowed, slamming a fist onto a desk covered in antacid wrappers. "You are the logistics director of this god-forsaken sandbar. If the tactical medical nurses require garter belts to maintain their morale, you don't just fill out a form. You snap to it. You shake a leg. You find a way to secure the hosiery, or so help me, I will have you peeling potatoes until the next ice age." Piff winced. "Sir, with all due respect, the supply chain is currently disrupted by the Great Sea Snail migration. I tried to explain that to the head nurse, but she threatened to use my stethoscope as a jump rope." Barnacle groaned, clutching his stomach. "My stomach acid could start a diesel engine, Piff. I am surrounded by incompetence. Look at this place. The sinks in the petty officers' lounge are backing up with grey sludge. The parrots are calling the Grand Marshal a balding windbag. And I just received word that Steel Glance Sterling is arriving today for a surprise inspection." Piff's eyes went wide. Grand Marshal Sterling was the terror of the Seven Seas. A man whose disciplinary record made the Spanish Inquisition look like a summer camp. "Sterling? Here?" Piff whispered. "But the base looks like a beach party hosted by pirates." "Exactly." Barnacle jumped up, pacing like a caged panther. "If he sees this, he won't just fire me. He'll have me demoted to head of Seagull Management. I can't face him, Piff. I'm a sick man. A very, very sick man." He paused, a devious glint appearing in his watery eyes. "Wait. If I were incapacitated, I would have to appoint an acting base commander. Someone expendable. Someone who can take the fall when Sterling sees the disaster we call a base." "You don't mean—" "Oh, I do." Barnacle smirked, calling Commander Maverick Mav Moon and his band of nautical misfits If Mav is in charge, the Grand Marshal will have someone to scream at while I hide under my blankets with a bottle of bismuth. Chapter 2. The Coronation of Mav Moon. Commander Maverick Moon was currently engaged in his favorite pastime, supervising a game of high-stakes crab racing on the deck of his ship, the Sea Stallion. The Sea Stallion was an experimental vessel that was held together primarily by luck, silver tape, and Mav's sheer willpower. "Come on, Barnaby the Crab. One more inch." Mav cheered, his Hawaiian shirt unbuttoned to the navel. "Sir!" Piff's voice broke the festive atmosphere as he stumbled onto the pier. "The Commodore is dying. Or at least, he's making a very loud